through.
In there for the touchdown. Coming home here in lane 5, well out in front of the field. And Wachek touches in a time of 52.92, a new high school national record. Back to back to back to back state champions.
NET Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2018 NSAA Football Championships. And we kick off our two-day-long coverage right here on NET in Class D2 as a couple of unbeatens are battling for a state title. It's the Broncos of Mullen taking on the Eagles of Johnson Brock. And good morning, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker Damon Benning. It's great to have you with us for a couple of days of state championships right here on NET. Damon, the combined record of the teams playing this year in the state championships is 140-4. We have 9 teams who are unbeaten, including the 2 this morning that battle in Class D2. Let's start with just an outstanding running back in Lane Edis.
Yeah, he can really tote the mail for Mullen. He's got over 2,500 yards rushing, and he's going to have to get a steady diet. Both these teams go about their business in opposite manners. Mullen, more ground-driven, led by Lane Edis. Going to have to get a little help today from his quarterback, Brady Gracie. And speaking of quarterbacks, on the other side from Johnson Brock, these stats, this player, Cole Fossenbarger, over 220 yards passing a game. And get this, 52 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Not even you, Larry Putney, could pull that off in your Thanksgiving outdoor backyard games.
Should be a good one this morning in D2. And with more, the third member of our crew, let's go down to the field to Doug Duda.
Hey, thanks, guys. Definitely defense versus offense here in both D games today. You just mentioned the 52 touchdowns to no interceptions, and you've got a great wide receiver in Ty Hahn. He's not the only one out there, but here's a kid that could have some Division I prospects. Of course, he's visited Nebraska, so when you're doing that under the Scott Frost era, even at an 8-man level, you know you're doing some great things. For Mullen, they got beat last year at home in the state semifinals by Blue Hill. A lot of these kids come back, and you mentioned Lane Edis. He needs 130 yards rushing today to break the school record, which coincidentally is held by his father, Wade, who would love to hold on to that, but he wants to see his son win a state championship game here today.
Thanks very much, Doug. It is Mullen and Johnson Brock here at Memorial Stadium. Got a chilly one. It's kind of hot weather. Not too bad, though, for late November here in Lincoln. Good that they could get out here on the field at Memorial Stadium. Just a couple of days ago, you might remember Nebraska on this field with a big win, and this is what it looked like just yesterday.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. The grounds crew here, they take such phenomenal shape and care of this stadium. And I think we've had worse games where the weather has been a little bit of a bear. Today, not so much.
So they cleared the field and got it ready, and it looks great, even better than what it does right there. Ready to go here at Memorial Stadium as they got all of the field. There's still some remnants along the sidelines, but not bad at all. I think we'll have a good day for football here in Class D2 to kick it off. The Mullen Broncos at 12-0 taking on Johnson Brock 12-0. And as you said off the top, this is really a contrast of offensive styles. You're going to see ground and pound from one, and let's get it up in the air and try to score a bunch of points from Johnson Brock.
Yeah, clock management will be paramount if you're Mullen, right? It's they want to run the football. They want to establish the physicality up front. They've got a lot of experience up front that I think could be an advantage. But on the other side, with Johnson Brock, between Fossenbarger, you've got Ty Hahn, Caden Glenn, and even just the pair at this level with this much space to operate is a dangerous combination for Johnson Brock. They can score it from wherever they are, whenever they touch it.
You know, you can watch NET Sports anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app today. Watch college player profiles, full-length episodes from Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams, and so much more. Search for NET Nebraska in the App Store or download free at netnebraska.org/apps. We mentioned off the top, both of these teams 12-0. The combined record of the 12 teams playing here for state titles over the next 2 days is 140-4, but there are 6 different teams, Damon, who are looking for a first ever state championship. One of those is the Johnson Brock Eagles. Here's a comparison of these two teams, and look at the numbers being put up by Johnson Brock offensively, averaging better than 66 points per game, and in the playoffs they're averaging 72.
Yeah, and what you see right away with similar point or yards per game, it's points per play where Johnson Brock gets you. They can score in a hurry, and they don't need a lot of snaps to do it.
Johnson Brock has been very good defensively as well. 35 turnovers on the year. 15 of those are interceptions. So time now to introduce you to both teams competing for this Class D2 title. And for that, we go to our public address announcer. Here is Steve Lemon.
And now for the introduction of the players and coaches. Here are the starters for the Mullen Broncos. Number 13, Zach Sweet. Number 14, Brady Gracie. Number 20, Brendan Walker. Number 22, Kevin Marshall. Number 23, Brandon Peters. Number 33, Lane Edis. Number 34, Justin Weems. Number 42, Ty Quanvig. Number 51, Colton Hendricks. Number 55, Jade Lovett. Number 70, Ryan Jensen. Number 74, Kobe Walker. Number 80, Ty Durfee. Number 81, Josh Cox. And number 84, Clayton Hassett. The head coach of the Broncos is Mr. Mitch Pfeiffer. And now, here are the rest of the Mullen Broncos.
So those are the introductions of the Broncos from Mullen, 12-0 on the season. Here's a look at their tournament resume. 27th appearance overall in the postseason playoffs here in Nebraska. Two-time state champs. They won it in 90 and 98, and a D2 title back in 2003. Now for the introduction of the Eagles from Johnson Brock, back to Steve Lemon.
Now, here are the starters for the Johnson Brock Eagles. Number 3, Hayden Glenn. Number 7, Ty Hahn. Number 10, Caleb Fossenbarger. Number 15, Dylan Rao. Number 18, Cole Fossenbarger. Number 24, Hunter Eastman. Number 40, Shane Westhart. Number 44, Wyatt Volker. And number 55, Seth Murr. The head coach of the Eagles is Mr. Mitch Roberts. And now here are the rest of the Johnson Brock Eagles.
So there are the Eagles of Johnson Brock, also 12-0. Enrollment of 62, 23 of those out for football. 13th appearance here in the postseason. They were here last year, not here in this championship game, but in the postseason. But this is their first ever appearance in the state championship. So Johnson Brock, where are they from? They're just off of Highway 105 and 136, about 30 miles southeast from Nebraska City. And Mullen in the heart of the Sandhills, right there by 97 and Highway 2, where that crosses between maybe North Platte and Valentine. Here's how they got here. Johnson Brock with wins over Bloomfield and Humphrey St. Francis in a good one, and Mullen with that 12-point win over Lawrence Nelson, a come-from-behind win, and also the win over Overton
in the quarterfinals. Let's go back to Steve Lemon.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Our anthem today was sung by the Lincoln Southwest High School Octet under the direction of Miss Denise.
Pre-game festivities in the books. Now time for the action. Class D2 state championship coming up. Mullen and Johnson Brock for the title right here on NET.
Talk about public power for a second. Nebraska's electric utilities use a diverse mix of fuel resources to generate electricity. Wind, water, coal, nuclear, natural gas, solar, and methane. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities pay more than $100 million to communities they serve each year? Those dollars stay local, helping to empower our hometowns. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
Pride of place is more than just a saying. It's a movement, driven by a desire to achieve and the unwavering faith of the fans. Like a town and its team, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit.
That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Head trauma and concussion risk minimization is a priority of the NSAA. When in doubt, sit them out.
Some common symptoms of concussions are dizziness, confusion, and nausea.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course annually.
For more information regarding concussion management and return to play protocol, visit our website, nsaahome.org. When in doubt, sit them out.
Maybe a bit breezy this morning here at Memorial Stadium. A north-northwest wind at get up to about 20 miles, but not bad at all. 38 degrees, partly cloudy skies, good crowd on hand here. Here's a look at your officials for this D2 title game. Dan McFarland is your referee. Robert and Stephen True are part of the crew. Doug Eisenhower, Neil Clausen, the back judge, and once again, our red hot hat is Rick Stromer. There is Mitch Pfeiffer, the head coach of the Broncos from Mullen in his 6th season, 47-15, was an assistant coach for that 98 championship team. And Johnson Brock's head coach, Mitch Roberts. You saw him introduced moments ago. 3rd season, 23-9, was a quarterfinalist last year, but first ever trip for Johnson Brock into these finals. The toss was won by Mullen. The Broncos have chosen to receive, and kicking it off for Johnson Brock It'll be Caden Glenn back deep for the Broncos. As that goes down near the goal line, pulled out, and it is, keeps it in, and he'll have a return back up the middle to about the 20-yard line. 19, we'll call it. This, of course, you see the 30 there, but this is the condensed field in 8-man football, so 80 yards, so midfield is right at the 40. And that's where the Broncos will take over. Offense led by Brady Gracie, the quarterback. And you see Zach Sweet also. The tight end for Mullen, Johnson Brock, Shane Westhart leads them in tackles.
Going to have to be just balanced enough offensively as Mullen in case it gets into a matching score kind of game. Gracie could be big.
Toss right away. A gain of about 8 for Lane Edis. Edis, 2,500 now, 2,600 yards on the season after that carry. Looking, as you heard Doug Duda say off the top, for the all-time rushing record at Mullen. His father currently holds that.
It's a treat too for our viewers at home that when Doug is on the sidelines, he knows Central Nebraska football about as well as anybody out there. He's a walking thesaurus.
Edis again breaks the tackle out near midfield to about the 39-yard line. Back-to-back carries for Lane Edis, who averaged better than 200 yards per game on the season.
Now, as we take a look at the replay, just a little power-off tackle, winning at the point of attack. Mullen very good up front, an experienced offensive line coming back. Very good at the point of attack, and these will be replays, but when you're watching it live, they'll look like replays as well. There'll be a steady diet of handing the ball to Edis.
Edis again at the top of the eye, fake that time. They give to the fullback up the middle. That's Jade Lovett. Lovett out past midfield and into Eagles territory. He rushed for 326 yards on the season.
Yes, don't adjust your sets at home. 55, an eligible number. There's an allowance made. Talk to the officials about the rules of this game and the jersey numbers being worn. Eligible ball carrier.
2nd down and 6. Edis on the counter. He has some room outside down to the 30, the 25-yard line. Another carry for Lane Edis.
Really good job. Just old school counter. You see 2 pullers, and he doesn't even have to stay with it. He can outrun it, gets to the corner. Very good speed, and you'll see this a lot, a reoccurring theme. When he gets tackled, he's typically falling forward. See him get those shoulders square. He's a handful. He can wear on you, not only physically, but emotionally as well.
Mullen averaged 45 points per game on the season. Edis again with the carry. Very patient there as well, following his blockers, a gain of about 10 yards. You see why there was not a single game in which he failed to gain 100 yards, David.
Yeah, it's commitment, and he's also a very good player. They've got a couple of little nuances. They can base block you, get a hat on a hat, but they'll pull and pull quite a bit. Use some insert action. Really well conceived run game offense from Mullen.
Already here early, 4 carries, 41 yards for Lane Edis on this opening drive. They keep there by the quarterback, Brady Gracie. Gracie threw for better than 1,000 yards on the season as well. That's good for a 1st down.
Well, there's the epitome of patience right there. Toughest decision he's making right now is which type of run that he wants to call.
Two and a half minutes already ticked away here on this opening drive. They've kept it on the ground, and they will one more time to Edis, who does get the corner. Edis in there for the touchdown on the opening drive for the Broncos.
Yeah, that drive is about all you need to see of what you're going to see from Mullen as we take a look at the replay. Good. Oh, that's a really good block here at the point of attack. And running, run fits will be difficult because he's a creative enough runner where even if you play blocks correctly, you better leverage the ball carrier, not the block. He can outrun you.
Fake the toss on the go for 2. And no good on the 2-point conversion. But the Broncos take that opening drive and go the distance here in this D2 title game. Mullen on top. Johnson Brock will have his first opportunity when we come back right here on NET Sports.
FFA's vision is to build leaders, grow communities, and strengthen agriculture. The funds from Constellation will most likely be directed to one of those areas. But most importantly, people need to know that it is at the local level. It's helping local chapters.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
You are a Nebraska farmer. You defined tough. You pushed the limit. You gave it all you had. And when you got to the end of the field, you turned around and we were there behind you every step of the way. Our success is measured by our understanding of your farm. It is measured in your trust in us at Aurora Cooperative. Tougher together, Aurora and you.
Hey, they'll get it here shortly, guys. Okay, everything you work for comes down to this. Can you get the job done? You got to play together. Okay, play smart, play hard all game long. Okay, let's go take it this first half and then finish them in the second. Okay, let's go. We can do this thing. Okay, you can do it. Play together. Let's go. Everything you work for. Okay, write your name in the history book. Etch it down. Okay, do it for everybody that ever told you couldn't do it. Okay, let's play for them.
Yeah, everybody who didn't have the opportunity to do it. The words from Mitch Roberts for Johnson Brock in their first ever state title game. Looking for that school's first ever championship. Opening drive touchdown for the Broncos, and now the Eagles will have their opportunity. The kick from Brendan Walker upcoming, back deep. Hahn and Fossenbarger, that will be taken by Caleb Fossenbarger out to the 20 to about the 21 or 22. Nice return by Fossenbarger. And that is where the Eagles will take over. Cole Fossenbarger is the quarterback. Ty Hahn, watch for him, averages nearly 90 yards per game. And Caden Glenn, the other receiver. Clayton Hassett with 125 total tackles from that defensive tackle spot.
And he's going to be a handful up front. How they navigate him, especially in pass pro, will be interesting to watch.
Fossenbarger keeps the option to the left. Pitch to Dylan Rao, not much there for Rao. Might gain of 5 yards on first down for Rao. Stop made by Ty Durfee. Down to the field to Doug Duda.
Well, guys, a much different start to the football game for Mullen this week as to last week's state semifinal when they trailed Lawrence Nelson 24-6. Edis didn't really get going until midway through the third quarter. Then they were able to rattle off 30 consecutive points just to get here. But much better start, obviously, for the Broncos here today.
Big second half in that one for Edis as he had 3 long touchdown runs to bring Mullen back from behind against Lawrence Nelson. Nothing there for Fossenbarger as he looked downfield. Both receivers covered in the pattern. Gain him about 1 yard. He'll bring up third down.
For Coach Pfeiffer and Mullen, you kind of like your season schedule. It was a grind, a tough schedule in anticipation of a game like this, where you know it could come down to the final couple of possessions.
Trips right here for the Eagles. Fossenbarger drops under pressure again, and Fossenbarger will be dropped right at the 25-yard line for no gain. That brings up fourth down and a big defensive stop. And again, Durfee is there for the stop.
You take a look at the replay, and I talked about this earlier. This is the key to the game for Johnson Brock, in my opinion. When you have this good of an aerial attack, you need good pass protection. But Mullen gets after the passer. Very good up front along this D-line.
Caden Glenn is in there to punt it away for the Eagles. Back deep. Runs it up, considered, but then a nice driving kick will go deep inside the 10-yard line, and that's where Mullen will take over. Thought for a moment that Glenn had designs on taking off.
As did the crowd, as you could hear that.
That's right.
He had some real estate there. Now this is going to be a test of wills here early, right? You're fresh off the 7-play, 61-yard drive if you're Mullen, which was a whole lot of Edis. And now Johnson Brock has got to get a stop. You've got pretty good field position here. They're not going to panic, but this could go a long way into seeing how this game is played.
Give up the middle to the fullback again. There is Jaden Lovett. Not much there for Lovett. Maybe a yard on first down from deep in their own territory. Let's take a look at Edis on that first drive of the game. 5 carries, 53 yards, and the touchdown for Edis.
Yeah, constantly falling forward. The first guy seldom gets him. Very patient. He's good with his blockers. And then has got just enough improv to his game to deal you fits when you think you got him bottled up.
Here's the toss to Edis. Cuts it back inside. A gain of 6, maybe 7 yards. That'll bring up third down and about 3 here on the second drive for the Broncos.
That's what they do to you. You know, you feel like if you're Johnson Brock, you got to win on first down. It was, you know, 2nd and 9. And you look up and now it's 3rd and manageable again for this Mullen offense. And they're right back on schedule with a 3rd and relative short. You're thinking they have 2 downs to make 3 here.
Toss back to Edis again. Edis hit in the backfield, spun out of the first tackle, and very near a first down, and I think he got it out past the 20.
Hidden yardage. Always falling forward. When you're that kind of a running back, it just adds up on you. This is defensed pretty well. It's very good at the point of attack. They forced the cutback, but there's the leg drive and the effort. The 3rd effort, not the 2nd effort, is what gave the first down.
So a first down here for the Broncos. From their own 20, Edis again with the carry. Gain of about 3 for Edis.
Well, they really force what would be your conventional secondary to tackle well in the run game. You need all hands on deck for this offense.
So how long before you see Zach Sweet kind of pop free out of there, wide open down the field when you begin to commit that much to the run?
Yeah, you need good eye discipline here because that's how they'll get you with the play action.
2nd down and 7, and here it is, wide open over the middle. There he is. Zach Sweet pulls it in. Sweet down to the 25, inside the 20 to the 22-yard line, right on cue.
A little ominous foreshadowing for Mr. Putney. Well done. The play action will get you because you're lulled to sleep. He's on the backside. He runs the post route. Very good ball action, what I would call handling of the football in the play action passing game. All eyes in the backfield. And this is a good ball, right? You don't want to overthrow a wide open receiver. Make sure that your guy can come down with it.
14 yards per catch was the average on the season for Sweet. And here is Lane Edis for another touchdown, Mullen.
Touchdown, Broncos.
This may be a little bit of a surprise early on to some folks watching this at home, but not if you're Mullen. This is what they thought that they were capable of. The ground and pound attack, the play action game, and then this man coming right into your living room, Mr. Edis. You've seen power, power, power. Then all of a sudden he gets you with speed off the same run action that they completed the pass to Sweet on.
On the 2-point, it is good on the second try over the middle to Ty Durfee. 6 plays, 70 yards, finished off by a 22-yard touchdown from Lane Edis. 14-0 here early on. Let's take a look back at last year's Class D2 title game.
The BDS Eagles played the Blue Hill Bobcats in hopes of taking home the 2017 state title. BDS scored in just 2 plays with a 46-yard touchdown run. The Eagles offense dominated Blue Hill by racking up 425 yards and continually scoring in just 4 plays or less. BDS held the Bobcats to just 276 yards with the help of John Christensen, who finished the game with 15 tackles, helping the Eagles bring home the state championship.
One of these 2 teams will take it home here in 2018. Back down on the field to Doug Duda.
See this a lot in the 8-man game, guys, but you never know. This is obviously the first time all year long that Johnson Brock has been down 2 scores at any point in the football game. Of course, they've only had the ball once, and there's a lot of game left to go here, and they can put up 70 points with the best of them, but you have to wonder how they're going to react. Mullen has been deep in the playoffs for a lot of years, and Johnson Brock maybe just trying to shake off some of the jitters still.
Yeah, Mullen lost last year in the quarters.
Yep, and it's a big deal, right? You know what it's like. You've called this game enough, and we've played in it. Just managing your emotions is a big part of playing here at Memorial Stadium.
Ty Hahn with the return. Out past the 20 to the 23-yard line for Ty Hahn of Johnson Brock. And that is where the Eagles will set up shop for here this second drive of the game.
And Hahn's pretty dangerous. We'll get a chance to watch him on offense. He has yet to get a touch, but in the open field, he is very capable. You cannot relax if you're Mullen. You blink and Johnson Brock will get you.
Damon, how big of a drive is this for the Eagles, given that they've shown no ability, at least to this point, to slow down that Bronco offense?
It's paramount. If nothing else, you have to find a way to flip field position. And you'd like a first down or two to kind of spell your defense a little bit and at least let them collect their composure. Because right now, those wheels are a little wobbly. A quick 3 and out, and the wagon may break.
A loss of 2 on the option to Dylan Rao. So that brings up 2nd down and 12 now, already behind the down and distance are the Eagles. Fossenbarger in the shotgun, drops to pass, has a man over the middle. Instead chose to go out into the flat to Glenn, who cannot reel in the pass that was a little too tall.
Yeah, uncharacteristic drop. Glenn pretty sure-handed. Got a chance to go get this one. You maybe want to go get 2 hands on that one. Fossenbarger just got to set his feet a little bit. I think, you start to see flashes of white back there on those drops because they've been able to get pressure on him. It's got to kind of settle in and just get back to playing catch.
3rd down and long. Under pressure again. And brought down the pressure again by Ty Durfee, who has been big defensively for Mullen here early.
Yeah, a 2-point reception and a whole lot of quarterback pressures. Just doesn't go with the play fake, unblocked. A little miscommunication up front. If you're Johnson Brock, you can't turn that young man loose. This is often the end of what happens to your quarterback if you do. Had good long arms, good wingspan, uses his leverage very, very well because he's good with his hands.
Johnson Brock still looking for its first down, and good job to reel that in by Glenn and get it away. And another good punt from Glenn down to the 22-yard line, where Mullen has an opportunity to make it a 3-score lead. Well, sports fans, make sure you tell friends and family that they can watch today's and this morning's game live on their computer, their tablet, or smartphone at netnebraska.org/sports or on the free NET Nebraska app. And you can get the app at the address you see right there on your screen, netnebraska.org/apps. So the Broncos have been rolling here early on, already up 2 touchdowns. Flip out into the flat. Reaches for a first down on the reception once again by Zach Sweet, who, as we said, averages better than 14 yards per catch.
Yeah, they don't throw it often, but when they do, he's the guy. And you see it, it's all predicated off of run action. All your eyes usually are typically in the backfield when you have a guy like Edis. Sweet just able to do work. Steady Eddie, as we like to call him.
2 catches, 60 yards for Steady Eddie.
And not a bad YPC right there.
Not bad at all. Carry for the first down out past the 35-yard line for Gracie. Brady Gracie's been effective through the air this year. 58 of 108. Completion percentage above 50%. Average. Throws for over 1,000 yards.
And they throw it just enough to keep you honest. And he's very good at what he does because he doesn't turn the football over.
Edis bobbles it on the ground. There was a big opportunity for the Eagles, but now you have them behind the down and distance. Can the Eagles here step up?
Yeah, eyes up. He's looking to maybe turn that corner and get off that kickout block. Got to take the pigskin with you. We'll see what he sees. Boy, he had a chance to turn the corner there. And you're right, they're off schedule now. This is not where they'd like to be, obviously, with 2nd and long. Still a running down for Mullen, in my opinion.
They'll go to the air, though. Nearly picked off there with an opportunity was Caden Glenn, who leads the team with 5 interceptions. And if he could have pulled that in, It could have been a big momentum boost.
Yeah, it is. You're not going to get very many opportunities for it, and when you do, you have to take advantage of it. Now you got a big third down stop to get the ball back for your offense here if you're Johnson Brock.
Third and 15. Gracie with the toss back to Edis. He'll reverse field, has some room near side. Good gain, but it'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 7. We have a flag in the backfield.
Anytime you change directions like that, your lineman can get a little loose with the hands. A little bit of a block and a backup. Yeah, there it is. I think you've got to decline it and force Mullen at least to make the decision to punt. There it is. Pretty good job by Fossenbarger setting the edge. Right there, turning that run back inside.
So you'd prefer 4th and 7 as opposed to 3rd and 23?
Well, I would. I always want a 4th down, but there may be not much confidence in Johnson Brock's defense to stop a 4th and 7. That's still a running down if you're Mullen,
right.
Especially with a 2-score lead. So they won't take any chances. They'll go 3rd and way long, knowing full well that Mullen is not playing to their strengths here. Interesting call.
So the way long that Damon speaks of is 3rd and 23. Give inside to Sweet. Sweet has some room along the far side. Sweet, first down on the carry for Zach Sweet.
That's why I forced the 4th down.
Check that, it is 4th. They must have stepped out right along that sideline, and Sweet, who looked like he had reached for it, comes up about a yard short, but it is 4th down.
Yeah, it just you leave 2 downs for the yardage, a penalty, anything can happen. Oh, that's a really good job on the spot. How about our guys in the truck on the replay? That is outstanding. There'll be no need to go to any Mike Pereiras. We see the spot. No need to check the replay.
Do we have a Mike Pereira?
We've got you. That's as good as any.
That's right. 4th down, the carry still on his feet. Lane Edis goes in, touchdown on 4th and 2. A 34-yard carry for the touchdown for Edis.
Yeah, you really rolled the dice to decline the block in the back. I understand the premise initially, but as a coach, anytime I can get a team in 4th and more than 5, I'm gonna probably take the 4th down and just watch the balance here. Like all good running backs, you don't allow folks to get to your legs. And then the good high wire act down the sidelines.
36-yard touchdown run for Edis, and now the toss on the 2-point conversion. It comes up short. No good on the 2-point conversion on the carry by Justin Weens. And here again is the tightrope back down the far sideline.
He's got deceptively long legs for his height. And again, right here in your living room, the good balance keeps defenders away from his thigh area. And then it's just pay dirt. When you can see green, that's a different kind of money. Give me all 6 of those.
Well, we're on top 20-0 here in the first quarter. Still 2:11 left.
Now this score is a bit of a surprise for me, especially you try to get familiar with both programs going into this one. Johnson Brock so prolific offensively, but one thing you forget when you throw it as many times as they do, pass protection is important. Mullen really getting after the passer up front, just not allowing Fossenbarger to settle in.
This is an Eagles squad that averaged in the postseason, in the playoffs, 72 points per game. Average score was 72-26.
He almost had to take a double take.
There's Hahn near side. Hahn out past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the return by Ty Hahn. There is Lane Edis. And after that last carry, three touchdowns on Edis, or for Edis. I believe he's over 100 yards now.
Yeah, he may have just got there with that last carry.
Remember, 130 yards is all Edis needs to break the school record held by his father, Wade. There's a good carry by Hahn. Hahn with some room. Hahn out into the open, breaks the tackle. Hahn down the far sideline. Touchdown, Johnson Brock.
We highlighted him in the open. See, he's different. He's a unique talent. He's very good after the catch. He can high point a ball as a wide receiver. He's getting next level college looks. He is explosive with the ball in his hands, and you saw it right there in a much needed score for Hahn. Defensed relatively well. You've got to make this play. He gives just the little change of pace. Then he hits the X button. That speed burst down the sidelines. They're not going to get him.
56-yard touchdown for Hahn. Now they'll go for a 2-point conversion, and it's good. Wide open Caleb Fossenbarger from his brother Cole Fossenbarger. 20-8. Johnson Brock now on the board. How big was that for these Eagles?
Now that was huge, and Seven's got to get his touches. He's a game changer. Aren't a lot of guys out there like him today.
Well, you can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, add a comment, or catch up on the latest Nebraska sports information. Be sure to like NAT Sports and Big Red Wrap-Up and join in the conversation. Johnson Brock on the board after the 56-yard run by Ty Hahn. Hahn just a junior. He's already made 4 visits to Nebraska. I was talking before the game with Randy Gatula, who, you know, is a long-time radio voice out of Falls City. He is the voice of the Mudekas. He's covered Johnson Brock 4 or 5 times, and he said, you know, throughout Matt Davison's career, he covered Matt Davison. And he said Matt could never do the kind of things that Ty Hahn can do.
I'm sure Matt would love to hear that. He's probably busy getting some sort of preparation, considering how diligent he is. We know he likes to do a lot of prep.
Well, our former colleague, I would not be surprised if he pops in here to the booth to rebut the comments from Randy Gatula.
Oh, in all seriousness, though, Hahn is he's a difference maker. He's a guy you got to target double-digit times a game via the air, and then a couple on the ground at least. That's what he can do for you. He gets it back to a 2-score game. Now, this is where the real hay has to be made if you're Johnson Brock. You have to find a way to get a stop defensively, something they have yet to do in this first quarter.
So the quick strike from Johnson Brock has cut into that lead now at 12, and here is Edis again. Not much there for Edis. Good stop for the Eagles.
Hahn getting down into the box. You're going to have to probably take a look at conceptually really playing the tight end man-to-man and committing everybody else to the run game. Getting that secondary into the box to be tacklers.
Second down and 8. Edis again. Edis breaks the tackle in the backfield, out about 2 yards shy of a first down, but you can see Edis' ability to break tackles and gain yards after contact.
Yeah, they finally had this one defensed well. I thought that they had good leverage here. Hahn gets kicked out, and then they have 2 missed tackles. That's the difference. Our guy on your guide, Mullen, 10 times out of 10 will take Edis. That's great effort right there.
Broke the tackle of Volker and Hahn, both there, so that brings up a 3rd and short now, 3rd and 2.
If my math is right, the next broken anything may be a record.
Edis with a 4-yard gain. That's good enough for a first down. That may have done it right there.
On the 28-yard line.
136 is what he needs to break the record. He has 135 right now.
At some moment here.
Breaking the record of his father, Wade Edis, who was the running back on the state title team back in 1990. And here is Edis with the carry. And that will do it as Lane Edis goes for 6 yards and has set a new school rushing record at Mullen.
That's a really cool moment for a father and son to have. Same position, both in the state finals. It's an important record because it's on a big stage. in a meaningful game where your team has a chance to win a championship.
Edis now in his career has rushed for over 6,800 yards, 124 touchdowns in a career. Edis with another carry, 5-yard gain, first down. Edis getting some interest, not any offers yet for scholarships, but several Division II looks from UNK, Wayne State, Division III, Nebraska Wesleyan, and some NAIA schools.
Yeah, in-state schools in Nebraska doing a very good job of recruiting. We've seen it happen with Kearney, Midland, Wayne State. But they get after it. They want to keep these kids at home, which is all good in my world.
First quarter in the books here in the D2 title game. 28 points already on the board. 3 touchdowns for Wayne Edis.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Earning my shield means...
It means I'm always moving forward.
Never stopping, always learning.
It means rising to the challenge of my ambition.
Earning my shield means having the confidence to hold my own with anyone from anywhere.
It means more opportunities for me and my children.
Earning my shield means it's never too early or late to set goals. What does it mean to earn your shield? I found out it don't.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Through one quarter, the Mullen Broncos and the Edis show 20-8 right now, leading Johnson Brock. And Lane just broke his dad's school career rushing record, and Wade's with us here. We had a great start, and how do you feel about your son breaking your record?
I couldn't be happier. Started these kids back when they were in 3rd, 4th grade, little kids program. Tried instilling in them that you never give up. You never give up, and I couldn't be any prouder.
What do you think about this first quarter? He's not the only guy out there, but he's sure looking pretty good.
He couldn't do it without those 5, 6, 7 guys in front of him, and we just got to keep playing Mullen football.
All right, Wade, good luck. Thanks for the time. Back to you guys.
On the play action, open over the middle, Ty Durfee, and Durfee pulls it in. Big gain on the pass from Gracie to Durfee on a 29-yard completion.
Hey, how about tracking the football? Going to get it at its highest point. I'm pretty impressed with Durfee. You watched him in pregame. He's got a great frame, the long arms. You knew he was going to be a presence defensively, but offensively, here he comes.
Wade looks like he could still play a little football. What do you think?
Yeah, he looked pretty fit to me. Just in a hoodie, too. That's something that I can appreciate that. Coats are overrated. Well, for some.
Second down and 6 now.
Super crowds in here early.
Over the left side, not much there. Maybe a couple.
All right, critical moment here, right? It's 3rd down. You're thinking if you're Johnson Brock, you're like, okay, Mullen's probably thinking they have 2 downs to make 5 yards or 4 yards here. You got to get a stop here and at least make them make some sort of a decision on 4th down. Got to really play here at the point of attack, but this could be a play action down with 2 to make 4.
3rd down and 4. Nothing there. Pulled down is Lane Edis.
All right, as Johnson Brock sense the opportunity here, this could be a little bit of a, maybe not a game changer, but for sure momentum changer in a crucial 4th down here early.
Shane Westhart with that tackle. Lane Edis will come to the sideline. He's been slow to bend in there to kick a field goal. For the Broncos is Brendan Walker. Check that, Kobe Walker. It is up and it is no good.
I don't mind that decision at all. I think points will be at a premium before this is over. You're going to need a fair amount of them. Take them while you can get them. You don't want any free empty trips. Good job getting the hold down.
Just wide to the left on our temporary goalposts that are set up right at what would be the goal line here on this 80-yard field. So starting from the 15-yard line. There again is Ty Hahn with the carry. 16-yard gain on 1st down for Hahn. And it looks like the Eagles have found something that works.
Yeah. Edis getting up a little gimpy here, really trying to attack him at the point of attack here. The answer right now for Johnson Brock offensively is a 2-by-1 set with a running back in the backfield. They're trying to spread Mullen out now and utilizing the run game. Pretty good job doing so. Kind of the little games within the games. That's the kind of stuff I can appreciate in 8-man.
You see the temporary sidelines here. Once again, 8-man football. It's an 80-yard field, and open down the sideline is Caden Glenn. Glenn down to the 20-yard line inside the 20. And Johnson Brock now with some life here.
I don't know if Uncle Mo has necessarily changed jerseys as we take a look at the replay, but he is at least in the change room.
30-yard gain.
Really good job of the blocks out there on the perimeter. You can't have these kinds of runs with your bubble and screen game without guys doing work on the perimeter. There's Edis hustling. A little helmet to helmet there.
There's Hahn again, breaks one tackle and then drugged down after a short gain of about 2 yards inside the 20, inside the 15. Edis again with the tackle, and Edis slow to get up.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. Something is obviously wrong with him, and he continues to keep playing. He took multiple knees almost every dead ball or a timeout to try to regroup.
Even in the huddle, he was taking a knee during the play call. Fossenbarger out to Hahn. Hahn drugged down, and a nice play out of the flat for Kobe Walker to make the tackle.
Really good open field tackle out there on a very good player. That's what you want. You got Hahn out there in space. It's mano-a-mano. Look at the hustle and pursuit. Get over here. That's a heck of a play on a really good football player.
83 tackles coming into the championships for the middle linebacker for the Broncos, Kobe Walker. Brings up 3rd down and 6. Under pressure, flips it out, tipped away, and Walker there again to prevent the completion. That'll bring up 4th down.
I think Johnson Brock's got to do themselves a favor and stay out of those obvious passing situations, because this pass protection has struggled mightily against Mullen's front 3.
Pressure right up the middle there from Ty Quanvig. And there is Walker, who tipped it away. They will go here on 4th down.
Every play in the playbook is still open here. 4th and manageable.
Incomplete. Fossenbarger to Caden Glenn. And back shouldered it to Glenn, who could not come back to make the play.
Now that's one he'd like to have back here. Looks like he gets his feet set. Underthrown just a little bit. Boy, it is a game of inches here. Boy, not to be a shill, but our guys in the truck are doing work. That's a good angle right there.
Lane Edis has had a big game already. 140 yards and 3 touchdowns for Mullen here early on. Not sure where he got dinged up, but somewhere along the line.
What was in the first quarter, I maybe thought it was, and I'm speculating, so take this with a grain of salt, but it looked like a groin somewhere along his hip, because I saw him take a knee and he was stretching and kind of rubbing along his belt line. I thought it was maybe something to do with that, or some sort of quad.
Well, you saw his numbers for his career, and he's up over 2,800 on the season. That ball squirts out. Was he down? Are they going to call it a fumble?
I see a beanbag.
It is.
Yeah.
Ball out and recovered by the Eagles.
You see that beanbag come out, you know they're they're waiting to see if there's a clean recovery, not if it was a fumble.
Here's another look.
Going into contact, multiple hats to the ball. A lot of stripping. Right at the tail end. That's a great call. That ball is out.
Saw Wyatt Volker was in there on the strip. There's Hahn again. Nowhere for Hahn to go.
I think the one wrinkle in this game to take a look at is, you know, gun one-back run game usually needs a quarterback complement to it for some deception. Fossenbarger might have to carry it once or twice to keep those linebackers honest and off of Ty Hahn.
Hahn and Glenn now. Split to the left, back to throw. Fossenbarger again to the end zone for Hahn. Hahn goes up and it is going to be intercepted. It is the pick.
Well, the first one of the year comes at one of the most inopportune times in the state championship.
Zach Sweet pulls it down.
50-50 ball. Two guys used to going up and high pointing balls, and watch this battle here. It was a little wheel route, a little underthrown by Fossenbarger. Well, that's just two good receivers right there, and then the battle ensues. Hahn looked like he had it, but could not secure it in his chest. It gets down between his legs, and Sweet must be, you know, he must have one of those grip machines at home. Those good strong hands by Sweet. Well, look at that.
Get down to the field to Doug Duda.
I don't know, Damon, what do you think? Simultaneous possession, and then they're on the ground, and when Edis ripped it away, that's when the official made the call.
Yeah, that was tough. You take a look at this. Usually simultaneous possession goes to the offense, but it was their control. That is a difficult call. Most times that one goes to the offense.
Right at the last minute, Sweet ripped it away. That's the interception. 2nd down and 6. Here's Edis again, following his blocker. A gain of about 3 will bring up 3rd down for the Broncos.
And that could loom large. I think Doug is on to something there. You know, you watch it again, and it was on the ground when the possession changed hands. Hard to see real time. That's a bang play.
Both of these teams have had long drives deep into the opponent's territory and not able to convert, both with turnovers. 20-8 here in the 2nd quarter. Under some pressure, flips it away at the last minute. The reception pulled in there. And a 1st down on the catch by Clayton Hassett, and a flag on the play.
Yeah, not sure that one's going to be legal, nor stand. A little bit of a discussion here. Won't take long. Ineligible touching, I'm going to guess. Yep. You can number change, but you can't throw it to linemen.
That's right.
Legal touching on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down.
Yep, that's the key right there.
Loss of down.
Takes the option out of it.
So that'll bring up a 4th down now for the Broncos, and in there to punt it away. It's Brendan Walker.
So the interception doesn't ultimately come back to hurt Johnson Brock in terms of points scored by Mullen, but did it take potential points away from Johnson Brock? Here's the question. In a 2-score game, it appears like it's going to be a good one. That one's going to matter later on.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And what had been a pretty clean game thus far. I think that's only our 3rd penalty of the contest. 4th. I think you're our crack statistician, one of the best in the business.
So punted away. Fossenbarger pulls it in at the 33. The return into Mullen territory inside the 35-yard line, and that's where the Broncos will take over. Time now for our NSAA Championship Trivia. You can be the first person to email the correct answer to sports@netnebraska.org. And you'll win an NETV Sports Championship shirt, size extra large. And here's our trivia question. In what year was the first NSAA D2 football championship game held, and who participated in that game? The first correct email again to sports@netnebraska.org wins that NET Sports Championship shirt. And remember, just one winner per household during the 2018 championships.
You're a Rolodex, El Punt. You got that one on the Rolodex?
I know the year, not sure of the
guaranteed
2 teams.
Doug knows. That's probably stealing from him. Can employees, they still can't win, right? I've been trying to get that rule changed for years.
I've been assured by the truck that you are not an employee, nor would they like you to be an employee.
Well,
So
does
I think
some
you're
sort
good.
of contracting phenomenon, does that work? Is that binding? I see what you did there too, Larry. Remember, it's going to be a long day.
That's right. Long couple of days if that keeps up.
Love you too, boss. Big drive here.
2nd down and 10. Toss to Hahn. Nice play on the corner, the edge, and support on the tackle by Tevin Marshall, number 22.
Kobe Walker can run a little bit. A little deceptive build. Playing inside linebacker for Mullen. He gets out there and plays in space a little bit. And he's got his hands full when Hahn is in the backfield.
Get a sense that this Eagles defense has settled in a bit, as well as, of course, the Bronco defense has been playing well all game.
A couple missed opportunities for Johnson Brock in the passing game. Fossenbarger gets it going.
Over the middle, complete, pulled in, and a nice catch by Caleb Fossenbarger from his brother Cole.
Yeah, see, that's the poise in the pocket that I'm used to seeing. And watch him, he steps up, delivers a good ball. It's accurate. He can run after the catch, kept his brother safe. They can still eat dinner together. You see Edis, you see 33 patrolling the middle. That can be no man's land if you're not careful.
After the gain of 12, 1st down now for the Eagles.
Getting into a little bit of a rhythm here offensively. They're showing flashes.
On in the backfield along with Fossenbarger. Here is Caden Glenn, and Glenn with the reception and a gain of 8 yards inside the 15 for Glenn.
Really impressed with the way Mullen runs to the football. They're getting 7 hats to the ball here. Glenn is a big, strong kid.
Just a sophomore, 6'1", 210.
Yeah, it's good size. Kind of partial to seeing 3 as a high school football member. can talk about that later.
Okay. Put that on the shelf.
Yeah.
Into the end zone, there is a touchdown. Again, Caden Glenn with the reception.
Really good job by Fossenbarger under duress, too. Good poise in the pocket, delivers a strike. And now all of a sudden, we've got a one-score game. Take a look at the replay here. Watch him stand big in the pocket.
To a wide open Caden Glenn. So now the two-point try. Over the middle. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Ty Hahn. And a 6-point game. Mullen on top, 12-14. Another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, high pointed. Getting all 210 of that up in the air. This is what's kind of been missing from Fossenbarger thus far. Hasn't been as sharp as he had been previously, but listen, in a game like this, on this stage, with what's on the line, we can give him a little bit of time to settle in. And it looks like he's well on his way.
So after the nice punt return from Fossenbarger, it was a 4-play, 31-yard drive. Took just 1 minute, 19 seconds off the clock. Let's go down to the field to Doug Duda.
Well, guys, Johnson Brock, their fans know what it's like to be in championship situations. Obviously, their volleyball team had won 3 consecutive state championships before being beat in the semifinals this year. Fallon Stutheit is going to the University of Nebraska.
Yeah.
Her brother Trey, assistant coach here, and obviously the attitude down here on the Eagles sideline has picked up quite a bit over the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, in fact, first year that Fallon Stutheit did not make the finals with Johnson Brock. In fact, Fallon would love to be here today watching her brother coach in this championship, but she's on a mission trip to Haiti. Probably watching on the NET app, though.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing. Right. Such a quality family, though. You hear all the stories about, what they bring to the table on and off the field court. It's a good group. And how about this, LP? The tale of 2 quarters.
Right.
The 20 points scored by Mullen in the first quarter, only to be answered by the 14 from Johnson Brock. And it's starting to kind of settle into the game we thought it was going to be. The explosive offense of Johnson Brock and the workmanlike offense of Mullen.
You still wonder, Damon, is Lane Edis right? I mean, he just seemed, even out of that huddle, jogging onto the field there, seemed a little slow. And here he is here down that far sideline. I guess that answers the question. Lane Edis out near midfield to the 48-yard line on a 24-yard carry for Edis.
Yeah, his expression isn't going to change, and he knows what's on the line. I think we'll see a steady diet of him. The thing I'm probably the most impressed with, and there's a couple, I love his balance, I like his toughness, but his patience is something that's hard to appreciate. Well done, young man. It's a good ball carrier right there. Smooth to the hole. Really understands what's happening in front of him.
From the 38-yard line, they'll give it to Edis again. Good play in the middle there by the leading tackler for the Eagles, Seth Murr. Seth Murr along with Wyatt Volker there on the tackle. Gain of 1 will bring up 2nd down and 9. First 20 points of the game rattled off by the Broncos. Johnson Brock has answered with 14 of its own. Edis hard into contact, and again that interior line for the Eagles standing up a bit more here.
Yeah, this is
Shane Westhart there.
This is interesting how it's unfolding, because I thought if there was a place that Johnson Brock could be had, it was maybe with the interior matchup, because Mullen is so experienced. But as this game has kind of gone on, Johnson Brock's defensive line has answered the dinner bell. That's a good offensive line they're seeing across from them.
Back to throw. Tipped away. Good play by Caden Glenn again, who got up there to tip it away. The intended receiver had a step out there. It was Zach Sweet.
One of the joys in doing D2 and D1 and watching 8-man football in general is to see two-way guys flourish. I'm an old school guy like that. I like to see people do multiple things well. Sweet belongs in that discussion. He's pretty good on both sides of the ball, like a lot of these kids are out here.
Walker punts it away, angles it toward the sideline. It'll be out right at the 9-yard line. A good punt there by Walker. Mark it at the 10.
Better job with your mathematics. I almost said the 19.
That's right.
Must be why they pay you the big bucks.
To add and subtract. That's it.
Hey, you know, I only have 10 fingers and toes. It gets to be slim pickings. I'll take all the help I can get. How about his composure?
Offense back on the field now for the Eagles.
Coach Coffey's one play at a time.
Hassenbarger back to throw over the middle. There he is. Ty Hahn pulled down. Edis pulled him down. But a gain of 18 yards on the reception for Hahn.
With time in a clean pocket, Hassenbarger is deadly accurate. Look at this on the move with the little crossing route. Didn't go down, but the whistle blew. There was never a need to touch.
Hahn 4 catches. He's up over 50 yards receiving already. Have him wide open. Pulled in. Great one-handed grab by Glenn. He goes the distance. Touchdown, Johnson Brock.
Never out of it, are they? This offense is prolific. Caden Glenn is a part of that. Miscommunication on the wheel route concept. That's all she wrote.
51-yard touchdown toss from Cole Hassenbarger to Caden Glenn.
You get the little wheel behind the skinny post. When you play a little man, it gets to be a natural pick.
Tie game, 2-point conversion. Johnson Brock looking for the lead under pressure, flipped into the end zone. They got it. 2-point conversion is good. Dylan Rao pulls it in. 22-20. Johnson Brock has answered the big first quarter by Mullen.
Oh, anything you can do, I can do better. 20 in one quarter, 22 in another. Even I can do that math. 22-20 as Johnson Brock takes the lead.
See you there. 2 plays, 70 yards, 18 seconds on the touchdown drive for the Eagles. Look so far at Caden Glenn.
Big kid. We talked about it. 6'1", 210, and he's a handful. Watch him go get this one.
3 catches, 73 yards, and the big touchdown here. Got one hand out there and pulled it in.
Yeah, he kind of gave it that another day at the office look, too. Big time
Little
player.
Trot, yep. Just a sophomore. There he is, 2 touchdowns for Caden Glenn. And now to kick it deep is Glenn. Sweet and Tevin Marshall are deep. It's at the 5. Sweet picks it up. Good coverage by the Eagles out to about the 12-yard line, and that's where the Broncos will try to re-energize and get something going here in this second quarter. But you are right, a tale of 2 quarters. Mullen came out and could not be stopped, took that 20-0 lead, and Johnson Brock has responded.
Not often you see a game, you see a 20-0 run and then a 22-0 counter run.
Give to the fullback, that's Ty Quanvig.
Yeah, playing with what appears to be either a broken finger or hand type. You don't have to worry about his toughness. He's been everywhere defensively as well. You know this is the state championship. It's all right. It's not for the faint of heart when there's championships to be won.
Here is Edis, picks his way through. Very near a first down.
That's the patience I'm talking about. That only shows up in the stat book as a 2-yard run. But he gives them the opportunity at a 3rd and short. That was played pretty well at the point of attack, but he does a good job of finding creases while still going downhill.
Coming up at halftime, want to remind you, highlights of the first half. We'll also chat with NSAA Assistant Director Dan Masters about the NSAA softball tournament held this year in Hastings. We battled some weather this year in those championships. First down for Lane Edis. 1:16 to go before half. Johnson Brock on top by 2. Motioning it out is Edis. Give inside to Quanvig. Quanvig holds that in his right hand away from the heavily bandaged left. And a nice run by Quanvig.
Boy, he had some daylight. He almost came out of the back gate. Good, tough, hard run right here. And a nice answer on the drive. Kind of, you can go into the half with some confidence, feeling better that your offense is showing some semblance of being back on track.
Edis with the carry. That's good for a first down out near the 34. All 3 timeouts remain for Mullen. 34 seconds to go, and then we'll take one right here.
Yeah, I was going to say I would use one here if I was Coach Pfeiffer.
So 34 seconds to go. 2 timeouts still remain for Mullen. They have the ball. Down 22-20. Well, this is just the first of 2 days of state high school football championships right here on NAT. Tomorrow there's more live coverage with the Class C2 championship beginning at 10 a.m. tomorrow, followed by C1 at 2:30. And tomorrow night, we wrap it up in Class B at 7 o'clock. Should be a good one with Scott and Scottsbluff tomorrow night. Watch all the action on NAT or on the free NET Nebraska app. Here's a look at the full schedule of what's coming up yet today. Creighton and Burwell in D1.
So many interesting matchups. Explosive offense of Creighton and Burwell. Burke trying to go wire to wire as the #1 team. Grand Island, the team that knocked us out. The usual suspect in Norfolk Catholic. Aurora and Ord, where points will be aplenty.
Here's the toss to Edis. Cuts back the other way. Boy, good move by Edis. Into Bronco territory. And another timeout, second timeout taken by Mullen. So when you said Grand Island knocked us out, you were referring to
Omaha North, for those of you watching at home, as we gave up 20, or actually 38 unanswered.
You're up 28-0.
24-0.
Good carry there by Edis. And there he is again. I don't know if it's a hip.
Well, see, that stretch right there would lead me to believe it's what I thought early, a groin type issue. Where you give the butterfly, it's running right along that seam line, along that left thigh area. Maybe seen those stretches a time or two to know what it is. Well, that's a tough kid. He's still stretching.
.25 seconds to go. Second down and 2. Ball at the 38-yard line of the Eagles. Brady Gracie at quarterback in the shotgun. 4 in the pattern. Under pressure and overthrows the intended receiver. And maybe a good thing because Ty Hahn had a beat on that.
Yeah, he did, and there was nothing but green in front of him. Fortunate that that one sailed a little bit on Gracie. Not often you'll hear somebody say that about a quarterback pass attempt. Be key for Edis at the half to stay warm and get that stretched in the locker room where you don't want it to cool down too much.
Gracie looked downfield under pressure, slips one and now another one. Keeps the eyes downfield and fires it nearly incomplete, or nearly completed and intercepted. Incomplete pass.
It's pretty good poise right here by Gracie, scrambling, keep his head up, a little loose with the football there, gets a shot at it, sets his feet, delivers a strike. Well, that went through a couple of sets of hands.
Brendan Walker had an opportunity right there.
And Hahn had one there.
Nearly complete, nearly intercepted, and incomplete. So 4th down and 2. 11 seconds to go. Toss to Edis will try to get to the first down. Very near.
Oh, he gets the right foot spot. I think that's a first down. Yeah, move the sticks. You can call for him. That was a right foot spot.
I believe they're going to measure here with 5 seconds to go.
Gonna test my 21-20 eyesight, right?
There you see Lane Edis. Edis already near 200 yards as that's a first down. So one more opportunity here with 5 seconds to go for Mullen.
He's gonna get a timeout.
Timeout will be taken by Mullen. Draw up a final play here in this first half.
There's the patience again by Edis here on the replay. And then I always talk about falling forward. He does not look like he feels good. This is where you have to be careful. You don't think about this a lot as a coach, but if you're going, you think, okay, defense, how do we get set up? But offensively, 2 things. Number 1, you're not used to snapping the ball out of the shotgun. You need a good snap. Number 2, pass protection. You don't want to strip sack. You don't want that thing bobbled and a scoop score to go the other way. Now, defensively, obviously, no one can get behind you. You're going to play your 3 deep. Stay as deep as the deepest man. But offensively, don't get too cute where you put yourself in harm's way with a deflection, scoop score kind of outcome.
There is Mitch Roberts, the head coach of the Eagles in his 3rd season, 23-9 in his career, has Johnson Brock in its first ever state title game. So 5 seconds to go here before the half. Ball at the 35-yard line, and Mullen trying to strike one time here before half. Edis down the sideline, throwing up near the end zone, and it will be incomplete. And that will do it in the first half. It was all Mullen in quarter number 1 as they racked up a 20-0 lead, but back came the Eagles. 22 unanswered for Johnson Brock, and they have the lead here at half, 22-20 in a tightly contested D2 title game.
Yeah, you're trying to get a sense of who feels better about what happened, right? You still got a full half to play, and it's anybody's football game. I think both coaches will take that if you told them that was going to be the situation at the half.
Doug Duda down to the field with Mitch Roberts.
Well, Coach, definitely a tale of 2 different quarters. Talk about what you saw from Lane Edis in the first quarter and how you slowed him down a little bit here in the second.
Yeah, he's a really talented back, so we have to tackle well. We started to tackle a little bit better, got better flow going to get more guys on him, and that's what it's going to take second half.
Weren't able to get anything going offensively the first 2 series, and then you just decided to give it directly to Ty Hahn. Talk about some changes you may have made offensively.
Yeah, Ty's a special player, so we're trying to give him the ball a little bit more, and then that opens up some other things. So we'll keep distributing the ball, but we need to establish a run game here in the second half.
Your message at halftime will be?
Go win it. They don't score, we win. So we got to go. We got to shore up some defensive stuff and some blocking schemes, and I think we'll be fine.
All right, Coach, thanks. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Couldn't be a better message. Go win it, guys. Second half action. We'll be right here on NET. We'll take a look at highlights and have an interview, though, here coming up at half. Johnson Brock on top, 22-20 at the half.
Methodist College is small, and the faculty is very involved. I feel that they care about how I'm doing.
Nebraska Methodist put clinical work right there with the schoolwork. I knew I was going to be helping patients even during school.
Since starting Nebraska Methodist College, I have learned a lot about myself. I love to learn, and I want to keep progressing and make an impact on patients.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
Nebraska's rich history of high school sports is alive at the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame.
Interactive exhibits bring the action to life. Historic memorabilia preserve the rich heritage, recognizing teams, athletes, coaches, administrators, and community members. The Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame in the NSAA headquarters just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street in Lincoln. More at nebhalloffame.org.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Halftime at Memorial Stadium here in the Class D2 state championship game. It's 22-20. Johnson Brock has come from behind to take the lead at halftime. We are joined now by Assistant Director of the Nebraska School Activities Association, Dan Masters. Dan's here to talk about state softball, which was held once again out in Hastings.
It was, yeah. We had a great tournament. Battled some weather this year and some rain and cold conditions, but we got the tournament in. And despite finishing on Saturday for the first time since 1997, we had a really good tournament.
And talk about that. I know that, whenever you get conditions like that, it can be difficult, but it seems like things went well out in Hastings and they got the field ready so that you could complete play.
They did. And when we drove out on Tuesday afternoon in the pouring rain, I was a little skeptical about Wednesday. And even though we delayed games, I was worried we maybe not get them in on Wednesday. But the grounds crew does a great job there. And honestly, the fields are built to handle the rain that we had. So everything worked out well.
This tournament continues to be played in Hastings. Talk about why this is the right place and right venue for NSAA championship softball.
Well, currently Hastings, they do a good job simply because that stadium and the complex there, they host hundreds of games, and the people that work the games are so well in tune with what needs to happen and when. So everything works out really well there.
Talk about some of the outstanding matchups we had. I know we had a great tournament in A.
Yeah, we did, and it came down to the last day, obviously, and Lincoln Southwest beat a Papillion La Vista team that was previously undefeated. Took them 2 games, and Southwest had some really timely clutch hitting, a lot of fun to watch, really good athletes on the field, and a great reminder of how good softball is in the state of Nebraska.
Elkhorn winning it in Class B?
Yep, Elkhorn had a fine team, great all-around team, great season for them, and also Wayne capped off an undefeated season with some great pitching and timely hitting.
So I know you're always looking at ways, to tweak and improve, and things go so well out in Hastings. What kind of things are you looking at?
Well, you know what? Hastings did a great job. They put some money into the facility this last year and updated their portable fence. So that was a nice addition. And I know there's some specific things they're looking at now in the next year or two to try to improve, whether it's maybe dugout size or maybe some things involving the bullpen area for pitchers to warm up in. They're constantly looking to improve, and again, they host so many games there, they want to make sure they have the best complex possible for when they host.
Yeah, Hastings has always done such a great job with the complex in the field, and I know, every once in a while you take a look around the state and see, are there other venues that might be able to? What's the bid process like for softball? Can you talk about that, and how long is it going to be in Hastings?
Yeah, so the current bid is expiring after the 2019 state softball championships. Our office and our board will put the RFP open up online, and communities can bid about a year from now, and we'll see what comes in. I know there's some communities in the area that have upgraded or built new facilities in the last few years that will maybe be interested in putting their name in the hat, and our board will then look at all the bids that come in and make a formal decision on which community will host.
Another great year of softball out at Hastings. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
That is Dan Masters, Assistant Director of the NSAA. We're at halftime of the D2 title game. Mullen trailing 22-20 to Johnson Brock.
Chadron State College, offering several online master's programs. Students can earn an organizational management degree in human services, sports management, or natural resources. Chadron State College also offers an accredited online Master of Business Administration degree. The 8-week online courses allow students to work at their own pace wherever they are. Chadron State College, serving Nebraska and beyond since 1911. Information at csc.edu.
Pride of place is more than just a saying. It's a movement, driven by a desire to achieve and the unwavering faith of the fans. Like a town and its team, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
NET supports those who have driven miles of Nebraska highways. Those who have paid their share of admission fees. Those who have worn their school colors faithfully. Those who have practiced, practiced, practiced. And those who have stood on the sidelines. NET supports those who have supported Nebraska high school athletes.
Watch NCAA volleyball on NET Sports. Ohio State versus Nebraska Huskers. Friday night, November 23rd at 7 Central on NET.
All right, we always like to get inside the huddle to see conceptually how teams do what they do. You watch Mullen here, pre-snap. You'll see two pullers as we spotlight them right here. They give you this run action like they're going to come out and pull. So you'll see them come here and here as we come back. We'll run it here a little bit. You'll see the pull action. You'll see the pull action here. The insert by the fullback comes here. He shows you run action. Then you get the run fake here that really holds eyes, eyes. What happens? Tight end gets vertical down here because they cannot stop the run game. As we take a look. That's just when you have to have good eye discipline and you've had a hard time stopping the run with that pull action. Those are the kinds of things that can happen to you when you lose good discipline.
That's what led Mullen to that early 20-0 lead. That and the play of Lane Edis. 3 touchdowns in the first half for Edis.
We're taking a look at this counter action, right? It's all predicated off the run game that allows you to get busy in the play action passing game.
And here's the long touchdown run for Edis, who in the first half, 28 carries, 195 yards. And then the second quarter was all Johnson Brock. And it really started when Ty Hahn went the distance on that big play. And then the touchdown catch for Caden Glenn. And Glenn, again, his second touchdown. A couple of 2-point conversions, and Johnson Brock is on top 22-20. Here's a look at the numbers from the first half.
One of the things that sticks out to you, we talked about not necessarily total yards, but yards per play. You look at Johnson Brock with considerably less yards, 116 less yards, but they lead because their points per play. They don't need a lot of cracks at it to yield points, and you saw that again in the first half.
And that's what led us to 22-20. Well, this week on NET, volleyball coverage continues of the Nebraska volleyball team. That's coming up on Friday night. Ohio State will travel to Lincoln to take the court against the Huskers. That's at 7 Central. And then we're right back at it the following night on Saturday. The Huskers take on the Terrapins of Maryland. Maryland had a big upset win in the Big Ten Conference, knocking out Penn State. That's at 7 Central. You don't want to miss 2 exciting nights of volleyball on NET coming up this weekend on Friday and Saturday night. Nebraska volleyball on Nebraska's home for sports. Great morning here at Memorial Stadium for this D2 title game, Mullen and Johnson Brock, and it's a 22-20 game in the D2 title.
Tell you what, I don't know. You know, the halftime message, I think, will end up the same, but it won't. It'll start differently for both coaches. The end of the talk will be, it's anybody's game. Let's find a way to win this thing. We're within a score. The beginning of the talk, it depends on where you start. The first quarter, you're a lot about Mullen. The second quarter, you're a lot about Johnson Brock. But at the end of the day, if you're Mullen, you've got to figure out a way to stop giving up chunk plays in the passing game to give yourself a chance to win. Even though you kind of get the sense that Johnson Brock wants to find a run game to keep Mullen off balance. And then if you're Johnson Brock and you're talking about Mullen, it obviously starts with Edis. You want to find a way to stop the run game, and you've got to shore up your pass protection to allow your quarterback the ability to do what he does.
Mitch Pfeiffer back in his championship game. They were runner-up back in 2004. Prior to that, they won it in D2 in 2003, and Mitch is with Doug Duda.
We're with Mullen head football coach Mitch Pfeiffer. Just like we talked with Coach Roberts, it was 2 different quarters. Talk about the great start your football team had.
Well, we did a good job of getting out there and getting our blocks and get our running game going.
What about you knew their high-octane offense? How do you like your way your defense was able to contain them somewhat, and what do you have to do even better in the second half?
Well, you know, I told them at halftime that we got to get off our blocks and we got to keep pressure on that quarterback and, you know, stick on those receivers best we can.
Finally, Coach, Lane becomes the school rushing record, but he wants this state championship. Looked like he might have got dinged there in the second quarter. Any update?
No, Lane's fine. He'll finish the game strong.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
22-20, the Eagles coming back here, leading the Mullen Broncos at halftime in the D2 state championship game at Memorial Stadium.
The Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association is pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and on the field. This statewide program recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and athletic achievement in over 20 high school sports and activities. We honor these exceptional students and all of the teachers, coaches, and parents who have mentored them. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
For me, asking why is just getting started.
It's more than an activity. It's me doing what I love.
I'm not a stereotype. When I rewrite the rules, things get better.
I know that all these experiences matter.
These moments will help me become something more.
Little things always lead to something bigger.
Do it.
Track it.
Earn it.
What you're doing now will help you get scholarships later. Find resources from Education Quest at trackyoursuccess.org.
NET Sports provides 200 hours of local Nebraska high school sports and collegiate sports each year, more than any other Nebraska network. On air or online, NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports.
Live streaming for the NSAA State High School Football Championships is also available at the NET website and on the free NET Nebraska app.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Back in Lincoln, Nebraska, Memorial Stadium on a terrific Monday morning. I want to remind you this Wednesday on NET World, Big Red Wrap-Up moves to a special time because of these high school football championships, which will be back here tomorrow at Memorial Stadium. Join Andy Kendi, who is in for Kevin Kugler, and guests as they look ahead to Friday's game against Iowa. Huskers close out the season on the road. You don't want to miss Big Red Wrap-Up on NET World Wednesday night, 8 Central, and then again at 10 p.m. on NET. Getting ready here for second half action, 22-20. Let's go down to the field with Doug Duda.
Kevin Kugler? Never heard of him. Anyway, down here getting ready for the second half, guys. Did find out a little bit more on what might be hampering Lane Edis a little bit. He has been playing with a little ligament damage in his foot, but that happened way back in week 4 of the season, so he might have got it stepped on here today, which would cause the limp a little bit, but nothing to be concerned of. It sounds like, though, after the state championship game today, they take him into the doctor and get him set up. He might be out for the start of basketball season.
Yeah, it looks like you could clearly tell that he's continuing to work on something, not only in the huddle, but on the sideline and between plays, trying to get himself right. But, you know, it's a state championship, and I don't blame him. You're going to be out there if you can.
Yeah, foot, groin, you know, a couple of broken fingers. Whatever it is for these players out here, this is, you don't get a chance to just pick and choose when you're going to be here. You make the most of the situation, understanding it is the biggest stage and ultimately what you play for in high school sports, the opportunity to win a state championship.
Well, it's Damon Benning. I'm Larry Putney. Doug Duda on the field. Good to have you with us here as we continue to bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other Nebraska network. For more information on dates, times, DVD sales, and available webcasts, you can visit netnebraska.org. NET Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports. We'll be here for 2 days bringing you 6 state championships, kicking it off this morning in Class D2. Later today, this afternoon, the D1 title game, and then tonight in Class A as Omaha Burke tries to go wire to wire as the #1 team in the state. They've never won a state title. Grand Island will be here, hasn't won a state title in 40 years, since 1978. Should be a good one tonight in Class A.
Yeah, it'll be outstanding. You know, the teams both have been battle tested. Burke a lot more off the field than on.
Yeah.
Grand Island definitely on the field, as they have had a tough go through the playoffs.
Brendan Walker kicks it through the end zone to start off this second half. And it will be the Eagles' ball to start this third quarter with a 22-20 lead. It was a great second quarter for the Eagles. We'll see if they can keep it going here as the sun is beginning to peek out here at Memorial Stadium, warming up a bit down there. I'm sure Doug Duda is toasty. There is Cole Fossenberger, 7 of 13 for 135 yards in the first half. Given the backfield to Dylan Rao. Nothing there for Rao as he's stacked up by that interior line. Leading the way there for Mullen, Ty Quanvig.
Yeah, Quanvig has quietly had a very good first half. Doesn't get a lot of spotlight, but does a lot of the dirty work. And you see right away Johnson Brock trying to establish the run game.
So no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Fossenberger flips it out to Glenn. Glenn still on his feet, still churning forward. A gain of 9 on a good individual effort by Caden Glenn.
Yeah, 4 yards after contact puts them in a 3rd and short. Boy, Glenn is just a handful, isn't he? Again, the quick screen game. Work being done on the outside blocking, and then, well, that's a minimum of 4 yards. I'll go with about 7 of those 9 after contact. Heck of an effort by Caden Glenn.
You see Glenn's numbers, including those 2 touchdowns in that second quarter, which gave the Eagles the lead. 3rd down and about 1. Back to throws Fossenberger over the middle, finds his receiver, complete for a 1st down. Good catch by Dylan Rao.
Yeah, good accuracy there. But, you know, from your television set, it may look like he's got a good clean angle to throw it, but from the pocket, doesn't have a ton of work. You can watch him on the move. 3rd and 1 is now a passing down, in case you did not know that. Look at that. That's good execution right there.
1st down here for the Eagles. This Eagle offense averaged 66.7 points per game this year. Out of the flat, good stiff arm. Still on his feet is Dylan Rao down the far sideline to the 20-yard line. On the catch for Dylan Rao.
You know, Johnson Brock gets you out in space. You don't get a lot of help in terms of gang tackling, so you have to be good one-on-one. And right here we see Rao shake free And then there's a lot of open field to do work. And right on the spot, Kobe Walker again. I tell you, he's deceptive. He runs well with that frame.
27-yard gain for Rao. Rao didn't get to play much of last year, suffered a season-ending leg injury just 4 games into last season. Tipped away and intercepted, picked off by Tevin Marshall, pulls it in.
Yeah, outstanding job by Marshall with good ball awareness and emotionally not getting down after not making the tackle a couple of plays ago. Short memory in the secondary as we take a look at it. Ooh, just behind the receiver, and that's really good ball reaction right there by Tevin Marshall. I'll tell you, Fossenberg would like to have that one back.
Interception by Tevin Marshall, his 3rd of the season. Johnson Brock on top by 2.
The money that comes from Constellation goes directly back into our county 4-H program. So they're directly impacting young people and the development of young people, whether that's leadership development, citizenship development, or helping them develop life skills.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
Early on, 3rd quarter action here at Memorial Stadium, the Class D2 championship between Johnson Brock and Mullen. Broncos just came up with a big turnover. Brady Gracie, the quarterback for the Broncos, back in there, along with Lane Edis, who takes the toss. Edis on 1st down with a gain of 4 out to the 30-yard line.
Picking up right where they left off in the first half with the toss sweep game and trying to get Edis on the edge. He's probably got a minimum of another 15 carries in him before this game is over. He'll probably touch 20 in this half.
Edis on the year averaged 216 yards per game. Give up the middle, nothing there for Quandvig.
Trying to hit him with a little quick hitter, fullback dive. Really good job of staying at home, but you run dive because eventually counter tag is coming, where those guys on the DN will try not to get logged. So you have to show them dive to try to invite them to play inside so you can get out around on counter.
So 3rd down, the toss to Edis. That's it back inside. Edis out near a 1st down, maybe about a yard short. So 4th down and 1 upcoming for the Broncos.
He wants the football again.
That puts him over 200 yards, Edis, in the game.
It's his 30th carry so far, with 8 and some change still to go in the 3rd quarter.
4th down and 1. Edis. Edis will be stopped. Does not get it. Big play by the Eagle defense.
Caden Glenn leading the way and getting by with a lot of help from his friends. Johnson Brock just sound at the point of attack. Ty Hahn taking on the good kick out block as well.
Hahn is down on the field.
And he was at the bottom of that pile originally, taking on the initial block. You hope that young man is okay.
So as they check on Hahn, we'll take a quick break.
Sportsmanship is the golden rule of sports. You should always treat others the way you want to be treated.
Let the coaches coach, the referees ref, the fans cheer, and the players play.
The memories you make now will last a long time, but the lessons you take away will last a lifetime.
right here and right now, I want all of you to decide. What kind of impact are you going to leave today?
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
There is Ty Hahn, who walked off the field on his own after being checked out. You can see he's, I wonder what happened. He's at the bottom of that pile. So first down and 10 here for the Eagles. Over the middle, complete. And there goes Fossenbarger. Touchdown, Johnson Brock, one play. Fossenbarger to Fossenbarger.
Yeah, a little brotherly connection there. They've had the ball all of about 9 minutes of this football game, yet lead by a minimum of 8 points. Nice concept here. All eyes go with jet action, and then just the little drag route, the little underneath look in. And 34 yards later, got a chance to make it a 2-score game.
2-point try. Fossenbarger flips it into the end zone. Incomplete. 28-20. Johnson Brock on top here. Third quarter action. Big 34-yard play to extend their lead to 8. 28 unanswered points here for the Eagles.
Yeah, just a game of runs, and they've done it by quarter. So far, advantage Johnson Brock in the third quarter, even though they haven't had the ball much. They haven't needed it in order to accomplish points. It's interesting. We talked in the very beginning when we put up the graphics and the stats of both teams. Yards per game were roughly similar. Significantly more points scored by Johnson Brock. It is not their yards per game. It is their scores per play. They get them in bunches and don't take very many plays to do it. Indicative today.
Let's get that on the field to Doug Duda.
Well, it didn't take long for Ty Hahn. He's already back out there on kickoff. Guys, looks like it was just a little stinger. They worked out his neck. He passed what the orthopedics and the sports medicine guys wanted him to pass over here. Still a little work on the neck. You'll see him stretching that a little bit, but just a stinger. He's back out there on kickoff.
Thanks, Doug. Ty, part of that fourth down stop, which led to the one-play touchdown from Johnson Brock. From Cole to Dylan Rao was on that last play. And flag here as the kick goes out of bounds.
That was Rao, wasn't it? 15.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought I saw 10.
Yep.
Well, that's a couple of big runs after the catches for Rao. Okay, you can tell guys that are used to operating in space. Well,
free kick.
Knew what to do with
fraction on the kicking team. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line. First down.
So let's see if the Broncos can answer the quick strike from Johnson Brock on the 34-yard touchdown catch by Rao. Lane Edis back out there. Edis over 200 yards in the game. 31 carries, 203 yards. Top of the eye here for Edis. They'll give to the fullback. That's Jade Lovett. Lovett with a gain of about 2.
Yeah, that fullback dive and trap game. Really supposed to keep Johnson Brock honest. Now look for them to come back with maybe some sort of counter or toss. Now that you've got those ends thinking inside run game.
Second down and 8. Takes the give to Edis. Look for Edis on the wheel route, who finally gets away from the defender. Battle for the ball and knocked away. Nice defensive coverage there by Ty Hahn.
Yeah, really good job of not letting Edis out of the backfield clean. They wanted the wheel route off to the play action and kind of got banged around at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get out clean. See Edis trying to get out at the top of the screen, gets rerouted quite a bit. Really delays the timing of the play down. That is a tough kid.
3rd and long here for the Broncos. Give it inside. Nothing there. Great job defensively inside, and that was Caden Glenn there along with the Shane Westhart on the tackle.
One of the beauties of 8-man, you see Caden Glenn just making plays and wreaking havoc at or near the line of scrimmage, yet having 30 and 40-yard pass completions as well. Very versatile athlete.
Seth Murr also on the tackle. Back is Caleb Fossenberger now. Here's a fake punt. Brendan Walker not going to get it. Big play for the Eagles. Shane Westhart not fooled.
Yeah, really sound. Good job of staying at home. Coach Pfeiffer and company rolling the dice a little bit. Didn't like the way that the momentum in this game was maybe going. Puts his defense right back out there now. With the sudden change, quick stop. Got to bow your neck here a little bit if you're a Mullen fan.
Big opportunity here for the Eagles, on top by 8. They have 28 unanswered points. And there is a look at the plays and the time of possession and the score, to your point, Damon.
Points per play. It is a big aspect of football today. Those are those analytic folks nodding their head in agreement.
Good speed down the near side, and that's Ty Hahn, who stepped out of bounds, and a flag on the play as well.
It's tough. They may get another block in the back. Those DBs really trying to fight the edge perimeter blocking. They'll bring this one back. Gets a little handsy out there on the edge when you're out there fighting stock blocking. Those DBs will spin and wiggle on you. You got to stay real disciplined and tight in there.
Yeah, legal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That's an interesting one too, because he must have saw when the DB spun, that allowed him to not be a block in the back. I couldn't tell. He checked to see if he was on the line of scrimmage. I thought he got the nod from the linesman. Excuse me, the side judge.
So to bring up 1st and 15, let's go down to Doug.
Yeah, side judge told the coach both ends were off the line, so that's why they called the illegal there. On the punt, the fake punt, I'm not sure it was supposed to be a fake. Seth Murr was right up the middle, and it looked like he decided he wasn't going to punt it into the big man and took off around the corner.
Well, that's always tough.
Yeah.
Take matters into your own hands.
Out of the flat. We grabbed there. Nice move by Glenn. Gain of a couple for Glenn. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 9. Gain of 6 on the play.
It's a big series here, obviously, from Mullen defensively, but primarily because you wonder if you're a down 2-score kind of offense, right? If Mullen goes down 2 scores, that's when it starts to get a little bit hectic for the way that they like to play football offensively.
Eastman in the backfield along with Fossenbarger. Under some pressure, flips it out, has a man open. And that is the catch by Dylan Rao. Rao, good enough for a 1st down to the 12-yard line.
Not a little versatility and wrinkles in this offense, but it's led by that man right there, Fossenbarger, who is the distributor of the football, making good decisions with it, and now kind of showing you the accuracy that he's been known for. If you look at him outside the pocket, pretty good savvy right there from the QB.
12 yards on the play, brings up 1st down and 10 from the 12. Give to Hahn. After a short gain for Hahn, Hahn met right in the hole by Clayton Hassett, the leading tackler for the Broncos.
And that run game built to keep Mullen honest. Can't just pin your ears back with pass rush when they're still trying to run the football on you in a rapidly moving 3rd quarter.
Second down and 8. Incomplete, intended for Caden Glenn.
Really good coverage out there too by Zach Sweet. He's had his hands full out there on the edge with the big fella. Ball's thrown back to the, well, not to the inside. Boy, that was almost an interception by Sweet. Never giving up on that football. Big down right here. Can still get a first down. About 8 to go here from the 10.
3 to the left for Fossenberger and a timeout. I believe the timeout was taken by Johnson Brock. Mitch Roberts wanted to talk it over here on this 3rd down play. 3rd and 8. Up by 8, 5.5 to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Really, you know, you get the sense Coach Coffey understands the importance of this one. You want to make sure, are you thinking 2 downs to make 8 yards? Do you want to get it here? What's the next play considering down and distance? 3rd and 8 from at this position on the football field. It's probably your best offensive concept play. So you're thinking either bubble game, your quick screen game, somewhere where number 3, Caden Glenn, is involved, or on the other end, which makes it doubly tough on you with Ty Hahn. Hahn's got single coverage to the top of the screen.
So 3rd down and 8. Cole Fossenberger in the shotgun. Fossenberger looks back to Hahn. Hahn got it. Touchdown.
Now, Coach Roberts much smarter than I am, right? Sees the single coverage. Goes to Hahn at the top of the screen in the one-on-one matchup. And watch where this football is thrown, where only Hahn can get it. Sells the corner route. That's beautiful pitch and catch right there.
5 plays, 26 yards, 155 in the time of possession, and now an opportunity to make it a 16-point game.
Coach Roberts, you're thinking to yourself, how can I get my best player to touch the football? Let him work one-on-one.
Fossenberger, 2-point conversion good to Caden Glenn.
Then they do the exact same thing to the bottom of the screen, dictated by formation as well, where Glenn gets one-on-one coverage.
36 unanswered points for the Eagles of Johnson Brock. 2-point conversion. Right to Glenn. So late here in period number 3, not time to panic yet, but an important possession coming up for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm sure this is just how you drew it up, right? One team scores 20 points, 20 unanswered, and then they're up 20-0. And by halfway through the 3rd quarter, they're trailing by 2 scores after a 36-point run by Johnson Brock. Doesn't sound right to say it out loud, but that's exactly what's happened here this morning.
One of those special kind of seasons for this Johnson Brock team. Team record in points. Cole Fossenberger, school record in passing yards and completions. Ty Hahn, a school record in receiving yards and receptions. Taken right at the 10-yard line. Returned by Zach Sweet. Sweet out past the 25 to the 28-yard line on the return.
Really good job of flying his blockers. Get some pretty good field position now. You're right, no time to panic, but you don't want to waste this field position either.
Edis back in there. A toss to Edis, kick blocked out, but not stopped. What a play again by Caden Glenn. He just fought off the block and got to Edis.
He's really starting to establish his dominance near the line of scrimmage defensively. Watch him come fit in the run game, sets the edge. You don't see that often. Your edge setter also makes the tackle. Really good job right there by Caden Glenn.
Johnson Brock defense has been up to the task here in these last 2 quarters. Fake the toss out of the flat. The catch made by Durfee, and Durfee gain of about 4 or 5 yards will still bring up a 3rd down.
He could play a critical role here if this game gets tight. He's kind of the forgotten guy in an offense that's very capable with a lot of other players, but Durfee has been very reliable.
Here is Edis trying to get it to the outside. Good move by Edis, still on his feet. Edis in there for a touchdown. What a play for Edis.
Boy, smooth as Malanta on the vertical cut. Put one in the ground and out the back gate.
48-yard run for Lane Edis.
The counter action, we highlighted it. You see guard pull. Nice move there. Another nice move there. He's so sound, too. Switching of the ball. And then the gear from the standstill. You know, his momentum is almost stopped, but the ability to get back vertical on the house call. That's an outstanding run by Edis. You saw the whole, that's the full complement right there in his toolbox.
So now for the 2-point conversion. Edis motions across. They'll look that way toward him. Toward Zach Sweet, that is. And taken away, good coverage by Ty Hahn. So 2-point conversion, no good, and it'll be 36-26. We have a flag on the play. And it's going to be called against Johnson Brock. Check that against Mullen.
Illegal formation on the offense. Penalties decline. Point is no good.
36-26.
Point after attempt is no good.
I would ask you earlier, our Class D2 trivia. The question was, in what year was the first NSAA D2 football championship game held, and who participated in the game? And we have a winner. The answer was 1979, and it was Arthur over Hildreth, 33-22. Now get this. Eric Matty knew the right answer, and Eric emailed in from Huntington Beach, California. Congratulations, Eric. Glad you're watching us from Huntington Beach.
Yeah, up and at 'em already. That's 2 hours difference.
That's right.
See that number? That's a single-digit number. I can do that kind of math. Now you're wondering how I knew that so quickly.
Subtract 2, is that it?
Exactly. Well, my sister lives in California, so that helps.
And by the way, Hildreth lost that first ever D2 title game to Arthur. Wilcox Hildreth won the D6 title game. In the first time in more than 2 decades that 6-man football back in Nebraska had a championship. Fossenbarger with the return. Out to the 15-yard line. Good coverage there by the Broncos.
How about this? Crack statistician, always working. Mullen's first 3 drives, 20 points, 20 plays, 188 yards. The last 9 drives to only yield 6 points, 38 plays, 184 yards.
Wow. Well, here it is. Here's that D6 championship game held out at Cope Stadium in Kearney. Wilcox Hildreth ended up winning the D6 title. Good to see 6-man football back in Nebraska.
That's a beautiful facility out there.
Yeah.
You and I have called many games out there. We get back to live action. That zone read game, that's the one where I'm saying if I'm Fossenbarger, I want to keep that at least once or twice. You see both ends collapse on the running back, not really honoring quarterback run game. The next time he keeps it could be for a big gainer.
Close out the thoughts on that 6-man championship game. We'll have a special on that for you tomorrow during our NSAA high school football coverage. You saw the final there as a first down picked up here by the Eagles. Nice catch and very tough carry for Hunter Eastman. Eastman out of the backfield with the catch.
And there's that swing game. That bubble swing, that perimeter edge passing game for Johnson Brock has been outstanding. It's kind of an extension of the run game. They use it as a long handoff. They don't always have to get vertical on you to get their big plays.
So from the 27-yard line, first down and 10 for Johnson Brock. Give on the sweep to Ty Hahn. Nice move by Hahn out to the 35. A gain of 7 on first down for Hahn. Hahn, 22 touchdowns on the year through the air, 7 rushing, a total of 19 touchdowns. More than 1,000 yards receiving on the season. 147 yards rushing, and as we mentioned off the top, he's already made 4 visits on campus to Nebraska. He went to Minnesota to see the Gophers play, went to SDSU, so he's making his college decisions where he might end up. Carry by Caden Glenn inside. That's good enough for a first down for Glenn.
Boy, when he gets his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, whether on offense or defense, he is a load. Right here in your living room, good little move. You try not to cut across guys' face, but look at the fighting for yards. Just relentless.
Fossenbarger fakes the give. Pressure right up the middle. Quanvig with a big hit and a sack for the Broncos.
Yeah, he's quietly turning into a little bit of an unsung hero for Mullen. Staying the course, getting after the quarterback here. Boy, that's a great move off the snap. That's just tough. Mano-y-mano, really good at the point of attack. Doesn't give you much to hit.
Big loss of 8 on the play for the Eagles. Brings up second down now and 18. Rao in the backfield along with Fossenbarger. Fake the give to Rao. Quanvig again under pressure. Flips it out to Rao on the screen. Rao, plenty of room. First down on the screen for Rao.
Boy, I tell you, the innovative offense from Johnson Brock. So many ways to get you. The vertical passing game, the run game. Now we see the screen game out of 2-back. That is just well done. And look at him just lock folks up out here on the perimeter. You don't have those long runs in the screen game without your perimeter blockers doing work. Very innovative offense right now from Johnson Brock. Coach Roberts does an outstanding job.
On second down and 18, it was a gain of 19 yards for the Eagles. So first and 10. Tough running there again by the Eagles. Caden Glenn. Gain of 6 by Glenn brings up second down and 4. Inside 1 minute to go here in third quarter action. In the D2 title game, Johnson Brock and Mullen. Mullen finally stopped that 36-0 run that Johnson Brock was in, but Eagles trying to answer here late in the third. Fossenbarger over the middle, has his man. Complete to Hahn. Hahn inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Great toss from Fossenbarger to Hahn.
At this particular juncture, you'd consider this a long drive for Johnson Brock. Hahn just working one-on-one. The quick little look-in route. Fossenbarger on time with the football.
Well, spotted at the 9-yard line, so first and goal here for the Eagles. Fossenbarger fakes the gives it away, fake the toss, and it's carried in by Caden Glenn on a tough run. Glenn for the touchdown.
At 6'1", 210, well documented today when he gets going. Hard to stop that locomotive.
Third touchdown of the game for Caden Glenn.
Really starting to assert his dominance physically as this game has worn on. Offensively and defensively.
17 seconds left in the quarter. That's a big answer for Johnson Brock.
Right.
Two-point try upcoming. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Rao. Here's another look.
Yeah, just inside zone. Get the little trap kick out block. And he does the rest. Ooh, takes a shot late. I like the little subtle nuances that Johnson Brock utilizes up front. Invited a rush upfield, trap, kick out, get right inside on the little zone action.
Good answer for Mitch Roberts' club. A 9-play drive, 65 yards, chewed up 3 minutes, 45 seconds of clock. One of the more methodical drives of the game for Johnson Brock.
It had been quick strike.
Extends that lead now back to 16. 42-26. So to kick it deep here is Glenn. Sweet and Marshall are deep.
Get down there.
Short kick will bounce once, picked up by Marshall. Past the 20 to the 21-yard line. Good kick coverage by the Eagles. 12 seconds to go here in this third quarter. 42-26, Johnson Brock.
Caught a lot of different names for Johnson Brock and Mullen as well, but for as dynamic as Fossenbarger and Glenn and Hahn had been, this is a total team effort right now for Johnson Brock, offensively and defensively.
A give inside, Quanvig piled up right at the line of scrimmage. 3 or 4 Eagles there, including Caden Glenn and Seth Murr. And that will do it for the third quarter. A big answer from the Eagles. Johnson Brock, 9-yard touchdown carry by Caden Glenn. They're on top, 42-26 as we head to the fourth.
Talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska is the only state in the nation served entirely by public power electric utilities? Community-owned utilities mean Nebraskans are working for Nebraskans. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you. Let's talk about public power for a second. Did you know Nebraska's electric utilities are governed by locally elected or appointed boards and councils? This means you have a voice in the decisions made by your local utility. Just another way your electric utility shows how public power works for you.
Early mornings, late nights, emotionally, physically, mentally tougher. Generations of trust, innovation, and hard work done side by side. The decisions you make for your land and livestock have a direct impact on your operation, the region, and the world. That is why we're there when you need us anytime, every time. We both have one chance, one season, one mission. Tougher together. Aurora and you.
Back and forth game here in the D2 title. It's 42-26, Eagles on top. Here's a look at the summary. Lane Edis, 33 carries, 248, 4 touchdowns, and Cole Fossenbarger with 290 through the air for Johnson Brock. And Caden Glenn, as you said, has been big here in the second half. Here is Edis again. Good gain on second down for Edis. It'll bring up third down at about 2 yards.
You see that view right there?
Yep.
That looks like a groin.
Yep.
That looks like a groin. Hasn't really hampered his efforts. You know, once he's going, I think it's the stopping and starting.
And looks like he's maybe lacked the burst that we saw early on. Lean forward there. That's going to be down at the 30 and about a yard short. So it'll bring up fourth down and 1 here for the Broncos.
Yeah, with this offense, you're still on schedule. This one, it's all about the point of attack here. You know what's coming.
Quanvig, the fullback. Edis And it'll be kept by Gracie. Gracie leans forward. That's enough for a first.
I like the way that Mullen broke the huddle. That you see that offensive line jog to the line of scrimmage. Those are those fourth and shorts that the bigs like to execute. They had good tempo. They were excited to see where they're at with that short yardage. Still a 2-score game. Obviously, it's 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions.
Back to throw goes Gracie. Hits Edis, makes one man miss. Good hustle by Shane Westhart from the backside. Westhart with the tackle.
Yeah, that's textbook too. You retrace your steps in the screen game. You go back to where you came from. And this is exactly what happens. It takes a lot of the pressure off Glenn too, because he knows he's got friends coming inside out. He just has to help set the edge, not allow Edis to turn the corner.
No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Really well coached.
Here is Edis trying to get that edge. And Ty Hahn is there to make the play.
Really good job at the point of attack by Ty Hahn, because you know he's got to fit in that edge rush game. He's not the biggest guy, as we see Edis get up a little gingerly again. You know, he only goes probably about, what, 170?
Yeah.
Not a big guy, but a tough guy. He's earned his money today. His 36th carry.
Third down and 9. Gracie back to throw. The receiver had fallen. And an incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th down. Maybe his arm was hit on the throw as well.
Those seams are getting a little loose if you're a Mullen fan. You're trying to hold on here. You got it a 2-score game. Not a very good offensive possession, as Johnson Brock appears to be playing a little bit more downhill.
So Walker to punt it away. That'll be taken by Hahn at the 15. Hahn, nice return back to the 35-yard line. 20-yard return for Ty Hahn. And he's had a nice day as well. Let's take a look at number 7 for the Eagles, Ty Hahn. This was the big play that got him on the board, Damon.
Yeah, it really changed kind of. It was a little bit of a sleepy start for Johnson Brock, and then Hahn got it going.
At 1 point after the first quarter.
He's played really good defense, too. Been tough in the box. Played with some physicality. Again, another one of those guys, not the biggest guy, but plays sound, good fundamental defense.
On the return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So that will wipe out the return of Ty Hahn and put the ball back to the 16-yard line. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Boy, that maybe is an indicator of just how windy it is.
Yeah.
When the flip from the line judge is affected by the wind. Let's go down to the field. Doug Duda is enjoying the wind.
Well, you know, it has picked up here in the second half, and I guess, guys, what'll be interesting, Johnson Brock hasn't been in a situation where they've really, maybe one time this year, had to be conservative and run clock. They always lead in the fourth quarter. Be interesting if they just go to the ground here, considering what Fossenberger's been able to do through the air.
There is the give again to Glenn. So they will take the opportunity to chew a little bit of clock with the wind at their back. Be surprised if they air it out here again.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an illusion, right? You see the sun come out and you check the flags on the goalpost and they're not moving, but you get a little higher up and you look at the flags at Memorial Stadium and they're whipping pretty good.
Gusts expected up to 20 miles an hour here for this D2 title game. Second down and 8. On the option, Fossenberger flips it out. Pulled in by Eastman, and Eastman with a nice gain out to the 24-yard line. That'll be shy of a first down, but third down and short upcoming. And we have another flag. Fairly clean game early. We didn't have many flags in here in the last few plays. Block in the back called against the Eagles.
Ooh.
Yep, a little push there.
Little.
So from the spot of the foul, that'll back them up and bring up.
On the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So after they walk that off, it'll bring up second down and 12 or 13 upcoming. Johnson Brock got here to this championship game in the playoffs with wins over Pender, Allen, Bloomfield, and a good one against Humphrey St. Francis. They averaged 67 points in the postseason per game. Good carry there by Eastman. They bring up third down as the clock continues to tick inside 8:45 here in the fourth.
Yeah, Doug brings up an interesting point. It's almost when you see them with consecutive runs or the appearance of clock management, it almost seems like they're out of character.
Rolls out to his left, looks downfield, flips it to Hahn, got him! And Hahn tiptoes along the sideline and steps on the sideline. But what a great grab by Hahn. And a nice throw.
Yeah. On the move, the only place Hahn could get it. Boy, Fossenbarger showing you the whole deal right there. On the move, accurate. Oh, yeah. That's a good job by the officials on it live.
28-yard gain on the completion to Hahn.
Talk about being on the same page. Look at him track it.
Give inside, Eastman with a carry of 3 or 4. Let's go down on the field to Doug Duda.
Well, morning practice must be over and the press conference hasn't started. Coach Scott Frost here on the Johnson Brock sideline got a huge ovation. The fans noticed him right away. And Hahn, right where he stepped out, if he wants to play at Nebraska, Coach Frost was about 5 feet away from him when he stepped out of bounds. He saw that outstanding play.
Yeah, a couple of guys that will come to school for a good meal, Coach. We're seeing it.
That's right. Those good meals will turn him into football players.
Yeah, Edis, Hahn.
Yep.
Some good guys out here.
Flipped outside. Here is Hahn. Leans forward. Maybe a gain of 1. Very near the yard marker, so it'll bring up third down. And about 5. There is Coach Frost. Big win this past weekend. 3 field goals in the fourth quarter against Michigan State right here in the final home game for the seniors. Good wave. And that brings an ovation and a roar from the crowd.
Yeah, this has to be everybody from in the area. It is a nice crowd on hand here at Memorial Stadium.
Over the middle, complete to Hahn. First down.
Showing you a little bit of everything on this drive in front of Coach Frost, hasn't he? He's ran it, he's caught it. I'm sure he could probably throw it. When we take a look, he's just ability for him to isolate, working one-on-one with the quick game. Goes down and gets it. Very versatile player offensively.
That is it again. Touchdown for Hahn.
Yeah. Why not?
Ty Hahn with another touchdown, and that puts Johnson Brock up by 22.
Yeah, just wearing him down. Again, it's kind of like that little trap action where you invite your interior rush up the field. Little backdoor kick out. It's on downhill. I'm really, really impressed with Johnson Brock's offensive concept. I like what they're doing in terms of the versatility within the 8-man game.
Saw a 2-point conversion upcoming on top, 48-26. And the 2-point conversion is good, and the catch by Caden Glenn. Nope, check that. That was Rao with the catch. 50-26. And Ty Hahn having an afternoon. Better than 200 total yards of offense. 9 carries, 106 on the ground. 7 catches, 116 through the air for the junior from Johnson Brock.
After a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah.
Stayed the course. We talked a little bit about maybe it was nerves. Just want to settle down a little bit. He has settled in nicely, taking good command of this offense.
So what do you think? We talked about it off the top that, you know, the voice of the Mudecas Conference out of Falls City, Randy Catula, was talking to us before the game. He said, you're going to see things from this Ty Hahn kid. And he's a guy who covered Matt Davison back in his day down at Tecumseh. He said he's so much better than Matt Davison, it's not even funny.
I don't know about so much better.
I think that was a comment. Maybe that was
Matt was really, really good in high school. But Hahn, right now, especially with his versatility, you know, I don't know about his hoop game. You know, maybe Davison has him as a hooper, but Hahn doesn't have to take a back seat athletically, I can tell you that.
It's just good to be able to make fun of Matt Davison when he's not around.
Whenever we get a chance, right?
So big lead here for Johnson Brock, on top by 24 in the fourth quarter. At one point it was 20-0 Mullen on top. And it looked like Edis was just going to have a field day running all over, but you just got to believe he's been slowed a bit by that whatever injury is ailing him.
And a lot more guys in the box too.
Big toss out here, catch by Sweet, Zach Sweet out near midfield.
Now, Sweet's a good football player. I'd like to have seen him maybe get a few more touches early to keep Johnson Brock honest defensively, but Sweet's a good player with the ball in his arms.
35-yard line.
Little deke there from Brady Gracie too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Little motion downfield. Go deep, go deep.
Always on the same page.
Sweet in motion. Nothing there for Brady Gracie. Stop again for Shane Westhart. We've called his number a few times this morning. He's had a nice game.
Tell you, total team defense by Johnson Brock has been pretty impressive. A lot of guys that just do their job, chop your own wood, as my boss Dave Tepper used to say.
Double pass upcoming, floated down the middle, tipped around, and incomplete. And there's going to be a flag on the play.
That's a tough call. A couple guys going for the football and what appears to be more of a punt than a throw. Everybody feels they've got their right to it.
Pass interference was called. Here's another look.
I don't know about that.
Yep.
Pass interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
We'll keep the drive alive here for the Broncos. Brady Gracie will trot back out, and that's kind of the sentiment you're seeing there from Mitch Roberts. What exactly was that?
Yeah. Coach Roberts is a pretty calm, cool customer. He hasn't shown much of any expression.
First and 10, ball now at the 32. Complete to Zach Sweet. Nowhere for Sweet to go. Hahn there for the tackle, along with Cole Fossenbarger. Second down and 8. Edis. Gain of 6 for Edis, bring up third down. As he continues to add to his total in the afternoon. 262 yards.
That's quite a bit, especially in a game in which you're down 3 scores. Usually you run the football like that, you're in a better position right now with 4 minutes to go in the game.
Bobbled momentarily, picked up by Gracie, back up top, and intended for Sweet, but out of bounds.
Well, that was some toe tap job. Timing gets a little bit disrupted with the bobble here. Oh, yeah.
Fourth down, and we'll call it a long 2 yards. Need to get past the 22 for a first. Gracie rolling to his right, under pressure, flips it up, and it's going to be intercepted by Hahn. Ty Hahn with an interception.
Tell you what, he's been everywhere. Just ran it, caught it. He's got an interception. I have a feeling if it was a little closer game or a little earlier in the game, we may see him throw it as well. Another 50-50 ball that he goes up and battles for. We talked earlier about his ability to high point a football. And when I say high point, I mean he's going to get it at its highest point. First man in the air often wins the war.
.428 to go here in the D2 title game. Commanding lead for the Eagles. Give to Hahn, kicks it outside. Hahn's got room. Hahn down that far side out to the 26-yard line on a gain of 16 for Ty Hahn.
Yeah, and then the stat game of did you know? He's got 14 tackles defensively. As we take a look at the replay, nice cutback. He's got good vision, good awareness. 14 tackles. That might be the most impressive number of all the numbers that he's putting up today.
That is a complete game.
It is. He'll rest well tonight.
Over 100 rushing, 100 receiving, double-digit tackles. Flag thrown there on the carry by Hahn, which would have been good for 10, but this likely coming back. We'll see what it is. Holding against Johnson Brock.
Tell you, 4 minutes and some change still to go. You're starting to look at the accomplishments for Johnson Brock as they hit the half-century number, which is under their playoff average. And this offense it's been as good as advertised, and that was after not scoring in the first quarter. 50 points, and they didn't score in the first quarter.
Penalty will back them up and bring up 1st and 18. And a timeout taken by the Eagles. Here's a look at that Eagles offense.
Prolific.
Wow. 67 per game. 388 total yards. 228 through the air. And look at the average margin of victory, Damon.
Yeah. 98% of the teams playing high school football won't even score that. 388 yards per game is interesting on an 80-yard field, especially when you put up the prolific pace in which they generate points.
Well, that 50 comes after not scoring in the first quarter. Let's go down to the field to Doug.
Well, and how about this? The 50 points for Johnson Brock, the fewest they've scored in a game, tied with the opener against Elmwood Murdoch. But guys, we've got some legends down here. It's Johnson Brock's day. They're in their first final, but assistant coach Mike Brown of Mullen has been in the final 5 times, 4 times here. He was the former head coach, and Mitch Pfeiffer was his assistant, and now they have switched roles. Mike was among the inaugural members of the Nebraska 8-man Hall of Fame. Most recognizable in the entire coaching world, and the only thing that's second to that in Mullen is the squirrel. Call it Big Red. You'll have to try that sometime, Damon.
I tell you what, all I needed to hear was the name, and in my family, this sport reigns supreme, and that's wrestling.
No doubt.
Accomplished, to say the least.
So fumble in the last play by the Eagles, but recovered by Hahn. Here is Caleb Glenn putting his shoulder down and barreling through a couple of tackles for a gain of 6 yards, brings up 3rd down.
You take a look at the replay here. How would you like to see Caden Glenn coming downhill in the run game with 3 minutes to go, down 3 scores? Right, that's almost not right. He's a heck of a runner. Stays behind his pads. He's been really good at the point of attack defensively. Another one of those complete, multifaceted players that Johnson Brock has.
Spin move. The gain of 4. That will bring up 4th.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, I don't, Kobe Walker, 74, playing inside backer. He's not turning down tackles. That guy's, Caden Glenn, is a handful in small spaces.
Mullen took that last time out on 4th down. It'll be 4th and 11 upcoming for the Eagles. It was a tough trip through the postseason for Mullen to get here. They beat Paxton in the first round, a 2nd round win over Garden County. And then a couple of tough games in the quarters and semis, a win over Overton, and that come from behind game against Lawrence Nelson. Black and silver of Lawrence Nelson.
Yeah, showed a little resolve to get here. You have to have a time or two like that, typically, to win state championships where things aren't going your way, and at least once or twice during the course of a season, your medal's tested. Very rarely is it that easy start to finish.
Caden Glenn in there to punt it away. No one deep for the Broncos, and we're going to have a flag. Offsides will be called against the Broncos. Still be 4th down. Does it change the decision of the Eagles is the question.
Nope. No, I think you still, I think you still punt this one away. If nothing else, out of respect.
Glenn gets it away. Good punt will roll down inside the 10 and down at the 6-yard line. 2:15 to go for the Eagles of Johnson Brock, who have never before been in a state championship game. And an opportunity to win that school's first ever title in football.
Pretty impressive to not be familiar with the opportunity and to get it done the first time around.
Brady Gracie back in there at quarterback. Incomplete. Good pressure by that front 3 of the Eagles.
Yeah, really started to dial it up, didn't they, after that first quarter. You know, and listen, a lot of people seeing Edis for the first time. That may be your initial reaction. He's a very, very good football player, but Johnson Brock seemed to have settled in.
Good pressure again, gets it away with the pick. Ty Hahn still on his feet. Come to the far side, and Hahn to the pylon, in there for the touchdown. Pick 6 for Ty Hahn.
Why not? Building your resume. You've been the showcase. Why not close the show with your second interception of the game and score to boot? Impressive performance by that young man here today. You know, LP, as we take a look at the replay, the last guy we saw score this many different ways, I believe, was Wyatt Mazur, who threw for one, ran for one, had a punt return for a touchdown.
That's right.
Had a pick 6.
What's Wyatt Mazur up to these days?
He plays here from time to time in this stadium as well.
Glenn stopped at the backfield. 2-point try, no good, but the lead extended to 30. Johnson Brock on top, 56-26. That entire team from the Eagles out near the hash mark to congratulate that defense. What an afternoon for Hahn. 116 receiving, 120 on the ground, 2 interceptions, interception return for a touchdown.
And over 14 yards of return in special teams as well. A full day's worth of work.
4 touchdowns.
For Ty Hahn. Have a day, young man, or mid-morning, I should say.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not going to get in the air very much. This one is going to be on the ground.
That's right.
You see this a lot. Sometimes kickers will lay it down for an onside, but that's not what Johnson Brock has in mind. They respect the game. It's going to be a low line drive on the ground somewhere.
Picked up by Zach Sweet, nothing doing. Nice play by Fossenbarger. That was Caleb Fossenbarger with the tackle.
Probably a little bit of competition growing up in that house.
Yeah, right. The only year those two will play together. One's a senior, one's a freshman.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool moment, though.
Yep.
He's hustling, too.
Looking downfield for Sweet and tipped away by Fossenbarger.
That's a pretty good ball right there. Better defensive play.
So substitutions now coming in for both of these teams, and the celebration begins on the sideline of Johnson Brock as they are about to win that school's first ever state championship. And a final timeout taken so they can get their subs in the game.
You kind of got the sense some people maybe didn't appreciate the road they took to the playoffs, right? Mullen had to go through, you know, the Sacred Hearts, St. Francis side, and Johnson Brock said, that's okay, we'll be here when you're ready. Heck of a season, though, for Mullen. That's a tough football team that did it the good old-fashioned way, running the football and playing good defense. Mass substitutions. It's a bittersweet feeling.
Yep. So in there now at quarterback for the Mullen Broncos is Brendan Walker, 5'11" sophomore. Good carry by Justin Weens. Check that, that's 31, not 34. Spencer Denayer with the carry.
You'll remember this moment, even in a loss. It's where you start telling yourself, hey, you guys that aren't upperclassmen, we'll be back. Remember this feeling.
Here's the keep by Walker. Still on his feet, down to the 25-yard line of the carry by Brendan Walker.
Made by number 28, Brendan Roslin. First and 10, Mullen. On the Johnson Brock 25-yard line.
First of 3 today right here on NET. This is the Class D2 Championship. D1 coming up this afternoon. And right here at Memorial Stadium. Then tonight, it's the Class A title game between Grand Island and Omaha Burke. This one turned in a hurry.
Weren't really sure what to expect, right?
Yeah.
The first quarter, and it's 20-0, and it's the tough kind of 20-0 where when you can't stop the run, it can get demoralizing in a hurry on you. And Johnson Brock found a way to weather the storm. It started with the Hahn score. They buckled down with their run defense.
Coming up
56 points later.
You saw the Burwell-Creighton game coming up next. Burwell, another undefeated team at 12-0. Creighton coming in at 10-2. That's this afternoon at 2:15 right here on NET.
And don't let the records fool you. Creighton back healthy and offensive-minded.
Very similar in terms of scoring prowess to this Johnson Brock team. Now in there, quarterback Kyle Durfee. Durfee gets flagged on a late hit. After the handoff, he was just getting out in front of the play, trying to throw a block. I think it came right at the whistle.
One of those things where you don't want to catch yourself watching the paint dry standing around the huddle, or the pile, I should say. A lot of guys like to clean those up.
So that'll walk off 15 yards on the personal foul. I think it was a young man out there playing hard.
Yeah.
He thought the play was still going. Jaden Emerson now at quarterback to give to Spencer Denayer. And time will tick away, and that should do it. What a season for the Eagles of Johnson Brock. 13 games, 13 wins, and 1 state championship. The first ever for the school.
When you go 1 for 1, that is impressive. You just can't bank on ever being back.
Right.
The moment can get tough for you. The emotions can get tough for you. Congratulations to Johnson Brock.
When we come back, medals and trophies will be handed out to the runners-up and the champs. We'll have it all right here on NET.
Take back your garage. Stuck with an extra vehicle that's taking up needed space? Donate it and get your garage back again. Support quality public media and get a tax deduction.
If you enjoy jazz, cool and hot, standards and pop, don't miss the sensational Grammy-winning trumpeter Chris Bodie. here with some of the best in the business to create sheer musical magic. For the best in jazz, look for the Chris Bodie Band in concert on Great Performances.
Friday night at 9 Central on NET.
Hi, I'm Perry Stoner. Sports fans tell us that NET brings Nebraska together through coverage of high school and college athletics. Contributions from hundreds of Sports Partners Club members make possible more than 200 hours of sports throughout the year. Members receive invitations to special events like tailgates with sports notables and live productions. You can join the Sports Partners Club by visiting netnebraska.org. Sports partners like you put the action in NET sports. Thank you.
The 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships continues tomorrow on NET. Visit netnebraska.org/sports for game times. Live streaming is available at the NET website and on the NET Nebraska app.
Coverage of the 2018 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, Education Quest, Constellation, the Nebraska Soybean Board, Nebraska Methodist College, Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Class D2 championship won by the Eagles of Johnson Brock. 30-point win over Mullen. Want to remind you, if you'd like a DVD of today's game, just from this NSAA High School Championship, just call 800-868-1868, or you can visit netnebraska.org, just $19.95 plus shipping and handling, and you can relive all of the excitement from this year's D2 title game for years to come. Time now for medal and trophy presentations for the runners-up from Mullen, and for that we go to Steve Lemon.
The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller, NSAA Board of Directors Alan Gary from Medicine Valley, and U.S. Bank Representative Megan Holtorf. Here are the awards for runner-up Mullen High School. Head coach Mitch Pfeiffer and his assistants will present the silver medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Number 13, Zach Sweet. Number 14, Brady Gracie. Number 20, Brendan Walker. Number 22, Tevin Marshall. Number 23, Brandon Peters. Number 33, Lane Edis. Number 34, Justin Weens. Number 35, Jared Finney. Number 40, Riley Kessler. Number 42, Ty Honvig. Number 50, Bryce McIntosh. Number 51, Colton Hendricks. Number 55, Jade Lovett. Number 63, Brenner Ambrosic. Number 70, Ryan Jensen. Number 72, Kendall Neal. Number 74, Kobe Walker. Number 80, Ty Durfee. Number 81, Josh Cox. Number 83, Max Sabota. And number 84, Clayton Hassett. And now for these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class D2 State Football Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Mullen High School.
Well, congratulations on a great season to the Mullen Broncos. They finished Class D2 runner-up. Got off to a great start, Damon. Led it 20-0, but then all of a sudden Johnson Brock kind of figured out the run a little bit and made a run of their own.
Yeah, we talked maybe a little bit in the open where Gracie was going to have to be just good enough to maybe give them some balance. And once Johnson Brock settled in to defend the run game, throwing, you could just tell, was not what Mullen was comfortable doing. But a heck of a season nonetheless behind a super tailback.
Time now for medals and trophy for our champs. Let's go back to Steve Lemon.
One of the champions, Johnson Brock High School. Head coach Mitch Roberts, we have a special award for you. Coach Roberts and his assistants will present the gold medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Number 3, Hayden Glenn. Number 5, Colt Davis. Number 7, Ty Hahn. Number 10, Caleb Fossenbarger. Number 12, Connor Smith. Number 15, Dylan Rao. Number 18, Cole Fossenbarger. Number 20, Eddie Boyson. Number 24, Hunter Eastman. Number 25, David Gertis. Number 28, Brendan Frosland. Number 32, Corbin Thompson. Number 33, Aiden Ottoman. Number 35, Ryan Bowling. Number 36, Mason Benham. Number 40, Shane Westhart. Number 42, Jesse Sunderman. Number 44, Wyatt Volker. Number 45, Max Halen. Number 55, Seth Murr. Number 70, Ethan Brown. Number 77, Joshua Hoff-Boring. Number 80, Cade Davis. Presenting the championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance is Vice President of Agencies, Andy Kraus. And now for these outstanding athletes in their school, here is the 2018 NSAA Class D2 State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Johnson Brock High School.
Well, congratulations to Johnson Brock, your champs in Class D2, that first state championship, headed back to the trophy case. at Johnson Brock, and what a terrific comeback. I mean, they were down, Damon, 20-0 at one point, and didn't give up on the offense.
No, they didn't. They stayed the course, found a way to get the running game going early. It was the long run by Hahn that kind of got them going. And then once, you know, contrary to popular belief, they can throw it around the yard, but once the ground game opened up, it made it really tough to try to manage everything else that they could do and throw at you. That is a complete offensive football team.
Good numbers for Fossenbarger. 19 of 27, threw for 329 yards and 4 touchdowns. Great morning and afternoon for Ty Hahn, rushed for 127 catches for 116 yards to 4 total touchdowns. And those 2 stars are now with Doug Duda.
Thanks a lot, guys. First time as a state champion here for Johnson Brock and Coach Mitch Roberts. Let's start with what was more impressive, the turnaround on offense or the turnaround on defense?
I think our defense. We knew our offense was in there somewhere, and we knew they had a very talented offense, especially with their running back. So coming out that second half and be able to play the way that we did, that's what impressed me most today with our guys.
Every young man had to do their job, but you've got a quarterback that threw 4 touchdowns. You got Ty that scored about every possible way. Talk a little bit about what these 2 guys meant today.
Yeah, they're really talented. We knew we had to get the ball to them as much as possible, and that's a lot of their hard work in the offseason, getting together and doing workouts and things like that. So can't say enough good things about these 2 and their hard work and what they meant to our team.
Well, let's talk to the quarterback that had 329 yards and 4 touchdowns today. Cole, that's kind of a normal storyline for you each and every year, but it was a slow start today. What changed? What was tough in the first quarter, and then what changed?
I mean, if someone said they weren't nervous, that's probably a lie. But, I mean, I guess just getting through the nerves, getting used to the weather conditions and everything, and just trying to feel out how they play. I mean, it just takes a little bit, but I knew I was able to do it.
Well, your wide receivers made some really good catches out there today, too.
Yeah, they did. I mean, that's what I've been doing all season, just get them the ball. I know they're going to make plays, so just got to trust them.
The Gals have brought home quite a few trophies the last 4 years. I suppose the pressure was on you guys.
Yeah, they've taken home quite a few, but we knew we could do one ourselves, and we weren't happy with letting them get all the publicity, so we were like, you know what, let's get one for ourselves, and we did.
Cole, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you. I will.
And we'll wrap it up here with Ty Hahn. Ty, they kind of moved you around a little more today. When you got in the backfield and ran it a little bit, it seemed to open everything up a little more. Were you expecting to run the ball as much as you did?
To be honest, no, I wasn't. But, you know, it worked. You know, we prepared all year. We've had it in our pocket, something we can use, you know, with the depth we've got. And, you know, they went to me, and, you know, I found some holes, you know, line blocked great. And we just made some plays together, and it worked. So,
you and Lane Edis got to know each other quite a few times on that football field today. What was that matchup like when you're trying to tackle him and he's trying to tackle you?
Well, he's a great player. You know, 6,000. I don't know how many yards he's got. He's got a lot. You know, he's a great player. You know, playing against him, it's awesome. You know, if you're going to play in the championship, you want to play against the best. You know, battling against him, it's awesome. It's a pleasure to battle against one of the best.
Well, great game today. Congratulations on the state championship.
Thank you very much.
That's Ty Hahn and the rest of the Johnson Brock Eagles, their first state championship, and that moment that, Damon, everybody wants to have that championship picture that you're a part of back up to the guys.
Look at that. They made room for him, Damon, right there in the middle. All right, we've been waiting for you. Now we can take the picture.
There we go.
Well, congratulations. The first state championship ever for Johnson Brock. One of 6 teams that are hoping to take home a first-time state championship here at Memorial Stadium this weekend. Hey, I want to remind you, coming up, the D1 title game not far away. It's Creighton and Burwell. Kick it off at 2:30 right back here on NAT. Once again, the final score 56-26. Johnson Brock wins its first ever state championship. For Damon Benning and Doug Duda, I'm Larry Putney, and for the entire NAT Sports production crew, goodbye until later this afternoon from Memorial Stadium right here in Lincoln.